Welcome to the Play It By Ear podcast. The podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Eric Fiskus, Brady Liming, and Todd Griffin.
You know, that lack of seamless between our countdown and our intro bothers me. But,
I didn't mean to do it. I look like Scooby-Doo that just got surprised. I popped up and I'm like, oh.
Eric is bothered by it.
Zoinks!
Yankees.
Let's not get into that discussion.
We won't go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. Episode 189. It seems like just yesterday it was 188. maybe a month. I don't know.
Yestermonth. It was about what was it? May 5th.
It was early in May.
Cinco de Mayo.
I think something around there.
Yeah, something like that.
Let me look. Let me take a gander.
Savannah.
So over a month.
Hawaii. Let's see. It was. You're not going to believe this. April 5th, unless we didn't post that. That's my most recent episode on Spotify.
I think there's been a couple after.
Yeah,
we've just
had
okay
episodes since then. We just haven't posted them, or
yeah,
we being me have not posted them. So that's on me.
Yeah,
I think it's been about a month. Well, that's what YouTube said. I went to YouTube and looked at because I had to find the episode number because I couldn't even remember that. So 189. Yeah, so 188. It said it was a month ago, so a month give or take. But anyway,
May 5th. I was right. Monday, May 5th was our last one.
Cinco de Mayo. All right.
It's been a while.
Hey, it's good to be back.
I gotta remember how to do all this.
You and me both. Setting up the stream. It's like I don't remember.
Yep. Had to get my microphone voice back. And then, not being in school for the last couple of weeks, had some vocal atrophy. I might not have my dulcet tones that I usually have.
Round pear-shaped tones.
Smooth talk.
So what's new, fellas?
Well, I can tell you the first thing that's new. Some congratulations in order to our host, Eric Fiskus, and his baseball run to the Final Four. It was an exciting time.
Here.
Thank you. Too bad it was such a cluster when we got there, but
yeah, it's a lot of rain.
Yeah, a lot of mismanagement, but we won't go down that rabbit hole. But,
2 rabbit holes avoided.
Might get me all worked up.
Get your dander up.
Hot and bothered.
Get your hackles.
Like one of those what are those things called? Those Rhodarian Ridgebacks or whatever they're called.
Oh, Rhodesian Ridgebacks.
Rhodesian, yeah.
I was just gonna say an angry raccoon.
We got some news.
Well, in other news, Pete got neutered.
All right.
Pete can play the field unfettered now.
That took a lot of balls, Pete.
Literally.
Oh,
congratulations.
Congratulations to Pete and his new natural state of what's the word I'm looking for?
Being.
Yes.
So for those of you who don't remember, Pete is Savannah's kitten. Now, no longer a tomcat, I guess. I don't know what you call him.
It is no longer a Thomas cat. It's just a cat.
Hello, John.
John Barney. Sup.
All right.
How many's in the room?
I don't know. My counter went away. I think I told you
that's
last
right.
episode. I don't know.
That's right.
I don't know. Don't know where the counter went. Have been unable to find it.
Well, we're just going to pretend there's at least 500 in the room.
Well, there's at least 2 because that's who's commented here.
Right.
So maybe one of those is gone now. Maybe they're both gone now. We don't really know.
My neighbor and my student from a couple years ago that are just down the road from me. I won't mention their names so as not to embarrass them but they said they were going to be tuning in possibly. They were doing a lemonade stand fundraiser, so I stopped and got some lemonade. And
that cool, refreshing drink.
Thank you. Somebody needed to do it. And so, yeah, but they were going to possibly listen along. I gave them a little preview what our topic was going to be. So,
The historian.
the historian.
And Todd's boss is with
Hello,
us.
boss.
Speaking of neutered.
Speaking of neutered cats.
Hang
on, I didn't mean that.
I'm just being funny. Celia,
Todd,
we love you. We're just kidding.
Todd needs his boss to dominate him.
My boss.
All right. Enough of those shenanigans.
TV 14, gentlemen.
Right. In case you've forgotten, this is a show about topics that we play by ear. That's why we call it what we do. But Brady and Todd will both have a topic. I guess we have a theme show tonight, and that theme being road trips, according to what limited amount I've been told here. So
figure it's road trip season.
It is.
Whether it be a full-blown vacation, get away to a state sporting tournament, lots of road trips happening.
Yeah, getting up on the 4th of July.
Yeah. One of the things I texted you guys yesterday, I was on my way to the dentist, and I needed some funny, trying out a new dentist, and I'm a little, I'm not afraid of the dentist, and Lord knows I've been to the dentist enough in my life, but like going to a new dentist sometimes is a bit stressful.
Oh yeah.
And so I was listening to the first podcast, and I made a promise to myself I'm going to listen to every podcast episode from beginning to end. Because contrary, I don't know about you guys, but I don't always listen to them. I mean,
I don't listen to us.
I rarely do. Honestly.
I do. Well, I've mentioned before on here, a lot of times I hear it. Celia listens to all. She's always listening to them, and so like if we happen to be near each other and she's playing it without her earbuds or something, I might hear it. But every once in a while, something will strike me as funny. But anyway, in the first episode, you just kind of reminded me of it a second ago. In the first episode, I think right off the bat, it's funny because a couple things you guys should re-listen to the first episode if you haven't. There's a couple things established right off the bat that's very funny to me that have not gone anywhere, and one of them is the warning that this is TV 14. Yes. That happens probably every episode, and the historian will back me on this. But what made it so funny was how it happened in the first one. It was actually Brady who got the warning for the TV 14. Believe it or not, he is the one that said the F-bomb on air. I mean, so it makes sense.
This is true.
And so with the context of, I can't remember it verbatim, but we were talking about. Eric, your topic was the decrees, which if you were king for a day or world czar, yeah, king for night. Too soon to say king for a day after this past week. Anyway, the topic you mentioned was if you were world czar, what would be your first decree? And you had a 1A, 1B. One of them being
hand dryers and restrooms.
And the other one is parking shopping carts.
Yes.
But in the hand dryer in the restroom, and we were talking about Brady was talking about how they just got new ones at his school he was working at, and how they would like suck the flesh off your hands if they were so powerful.
Yeah, they were like, yeah.
And so he'd already established that. It circles back around, and Brady says he gets all secretive. He's like, I think something along the lines of, I think I got to be honest with you guys. One night there was nobody in the building, and I went in there, and like so like he's talking about going to this hair, and he starts it with there was no one else in the building, which was a very odd way to start something he did with a hand dryer. So and at that point he got the warning of, remember Brady, it's TV 14. So it just struck me as funny. That happened.
Can
episode
I say what
1.
I did so nobody thinks I'm a weirdo, total weirdo? So what
Yeah.
I did, it was so powerful. What I did, I got underneath of it, so it blew down on my face into the
spies like us.
Yeah. It was like a golden retriever in a window, like
It definitely your intentions were good, but the way you started it was very it required a warning from us to say, hey Brady, this is TV 14, remember that.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's what the TV-14 is. It's not a message to our audience; it's a warning to ourselves.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Remember TV-14.
Not that we were pure as the driven snow. Not that we would ever,
That was also the birth of singular Kit Kat being a one cat. If you don't eat the whole thing, there were a couple other things.
So can we break that down? I mean, do you have the far left cat, you have the middle left cat, you have the middle right cat, and the right cat.
And if one breaks in half, you've got a kit kitten. It's
Chris. Yeah, that was the episode. Also, we talked about the revolving towel cloth.
Samantha, nice to see you.
Samantha.
I don't guess we're really seeing you other than your little picture there on the YouTube, but nice to hear from you.
I also said, Eric, one of my biggest chuckles was, I don't know if you meant to say it or not, but I was telling the audience is you were going on about caramel versus caramel, and your point was the more expensive the candy is, if it's caramel if it's expensive, it's caramel if it's cheap, and you referenced Esther. What was it?
Esther Douglas.
Esther Douglas candy. I don't know. I didn't laugh then, but I just cracked up the other
Well, Esther Douglas is the caramel. Esther
really?
Price is the caramel.
Okay.
I did not know that there were two Esthers. Who would have known the candy?
Actually, I just made that up, and you all just believe.
Well, there are a couple other higher brow boxes of chocolate. I just assumed you combined two of them, but again, I don't know why it struck me so funny the other day, because it made you sound about 90, either 90 kind of complaining or like you meant to do it, which either way is funny.
You ruined my joke though, because I was like, there's Esther Price and Esther Douglas, so that would make it a polyester candy.
Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, folks, go back and listen to the early episodes, starting with episode 1. They're different, but entertaining.
So the historian brings up the worst thing about the early episodes being the timer, which never really held any justice at all. It's like,
that's right.
It's like points and whose line is it anyway? The points don't matter. The timer never mattered. To us.
We had good intentions.
Yeah, the timer would be like a screen door in a submarine. It was there for, it would have been that helpful. So we decided to ditch it.
Oh, I also believe the conducting commerce originated on that very first episode.
Yeah. So John. Should I say that to you next time I see you? You're violated my rights.
You summon a marches. Hostages.
Roman Maroney. Gotta love Roman Maroney. Can't make movies like that anymore.
They don't.
All right, folks, you had to know we'd be long-winded tonight. We have a lot of wind saved up.
Yes, we do. All right, Todd. Okay. I've put you first. I made an executive decision. So go right.
All right. Well, we haven't done a bracket in a while because we haven't done an episode in a while. So I thought that it's getting ready to be summertime again. 4th of July is coming up. Lots of vacations, lots of trips. Both short and long. So I thought, let's find a bracket that has to do with vacations. The first thing I tried to find was like worst vacation locations, something along those lines. And I kept seeing food things. And I thought, well, all of these we've done, but we've never done this specific one. So that's my preface. This is best road trip snacks. Now, everything in here we've talked about in other conversations, other topics, and maybe even other brackets, but never this specific bracket. And we have 4 regions, Eric. You'd be happy to know it is broken into 4 regions. Gas station staples. It is seated. Gas station staples, drinks, fast food, and candy.
Is the seating going to make me pissy? Have you looked at it?
I'm sure it will.
All right.
There's a bear poop in the woods.
So I think what we need to establish, though, because as I glance over this, there's a couple of very vague teams, so to speak. And we need to decide whether we go by this only or we have a little bit of kind of leadway to make it our own, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So first up, seed number 1, Doritos. This is in the gas station staples region.
Is this
Doritos,
just regular Doritos or any variation thereof?
So that's what I was getting at, because the logo in here is not, there's not enough of a logo to see whether it's just the regular Doritos. So do we want to say that people can vote based on their favorite Dorito, or do we pick the Dorito and say that's what it is?
Well, I mean, as long as there's no other variation of Doritos anywhere else in the bracket, I think people can choose according to their own preference.
Yeah, there's not. So, okay, I'm fine with that. So your favorite Dorito flavor versus the number 8 seed, Jack Link's beef jerky. So you got jerky versus Dorito.
Ooh, that's a pretty... So let me first off say that Doritos is excellent as long as that bag is red. If it's that blue bag and it opens in my car, I'm going to yak. Oh. That stuff, it smells.
You don't like Cool Ranch?
Oh, there's no ranch and it's not cool. It's like it just smells like yeah, I'm not a fan, but I understand that it's some people's favorite, so I'll shut up about that. But now, and you said it's Jack's jerky.
So do we want to just say any beef jerky? Is it fair game to say? I mean,
well, again, as long as there's no other variation of jerky in the...
There's none. Okay.
There's not. It's just, so Jack Link's beef jerky. So any beef jerky versus any Dorito. How's that? And you are exactly right, Chris. The purple sweet chili Doritos are fantastic. That's probably my favorite Dorito.
Those aren't bad. Those get my okay as long as they're not...
They sneak up on you. You're like, wow, these are nice. And then all of a sudden, after 7 or 8 of them, you're like, man, these are starting to tingle a little.
Got a kick.
Got a kick. I like Doritos, but if I'm in the gear, I think I'm going to go on a road trip. I'm going to go with the Yerky because it's a little bit less crummy. Doesn't turn my fingers orange.
There you go.
So my personal, both are fine, but I think I'm going to go with the jerky. That's just me.
Does it depend on if you're driving or not?
If I'm driving, certainly jerky.
Now we know that Brady is very conscious about getting things on his fingers, eating donuts with a napkin and such.
Yeah.
So that plays heavy into his decision making.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I generally like my. I don't like things that are dried out. So I'm not a jerky fan. Not a jerky fan.
I just see Eric trying to eat like a 5-day-old, like those strawberry shortcake sponge cakes. It's been sitting out for about 3 days. He gives a bite into it and just like sawdust.
It's awful. No. So I mean, Doritos are meant to be that way. I mean, I would much rather have a piece of steak or a piece of hamburger than a beef jerky. So I'm not a jerky fan. Piece of hamburger.
Bag of hamburger pieces.
Doritos for me.
Since you guys have text, you might want to look at it's so you both make incredible arguments. I should have jumped in and went second. I should have jumped in and went second because I'm
oh my goodness.
Sorry. Brady brings up a good point because I tease Brady, but I don't like my fingers being messy either. Not to the extent of Brady where I will create new ways to eat things and absurd ways to eat things but I do go through a lot of napkins or paper towels, and I loathe cloth napkins at restaurants. I don't care how fancy your restaurant is. Give me a paper towel or some regular napkins.
God, I know.
All that does is smear in the grease, and it spreads the grease across your hands more. But if I'm driving, I'm probably more likely to lean towards the jerk. But if I'm passengering, I'm probably going to go with the Doritos. I enjoy the flavor of the Doritos better than the jerky. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
but
totally.
I don't know what to vote on. So, but 99% of the time on any road trip I'm ever on with my family, I'm driving. So I'm going to have to go jerky on this one. But I have specific types of jerky. I like any kind of teriyaki or like sweet chili or sweet and hot.
The barbecue.
Sexy and sultry.
Sexy, sultry.
Confidence.
Not just you don't want to cut.
I tell you what. Sexy. Don't you think?
Very nice, Jack.
Thank you, Jack. You bring up a good ancillary point, Todd, as far as the napkin piece. Napkins are not adequate to handle the Dorito dust on your fingers. The only adequate way to deal with Dorito dust on your fingers is to lick your fingers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You don't do
Why
that?
do you make a face at that?
Lick my fingers.
Yes,
Oh,
Not a Cro-Magnon or a Neanderthal.
Oh, good
I just
Lord.
chew in on a big old bone.
God, how bougie can you be?
yeah, especially if it has a lot of flavor. I'll mess up my fingerprints. I suck the flavor off my fingers. So
You get Rob Fort Knox, and nobody will know.
Gotta get down all those ridges.
yeah.
Horrible.
But even so, I think that goes along with how much of a distaste I have for beef jerky. Distaste may be a strong word. I'm not going to say I would never eat it, but if you gave me a list of 20 different snacks and it was number 20, I mean, I would take any of them probably other than beef jerky.
So, Eric,
now,
you never partook of the Greasy Heart Spam Sticks?
No.
Well,
Okay.
I was going to say, I prefer jerky over stick. I want misshapen. Looks like it comes straight from the prehistoric Indian days. Just a block of
Pemmican.
You beat me to it.
But Eric, you're right about something. I like my jerky moist. If it gets, I like it to have a bit of a glaze over it, like it's enthroped. It's enveloped in a teriyaki glaze. That's the best jerky.
So you just don't do straight up cow flavor, Todd?
Well, but I do. But I've noticed the non-flavored ones are the ones that are just kind of like tree bark. I like it to have a glaze, a bit of a sheen, a bit of a sheen, just a little bit of, just a sparkle, just a bit of, you know what I mean?
I know what there's a sparkliness to it, kind of like polished marble.
Right. And when you get that, it's usually pretty good. It's pretty moist. The sticks, I mean, I'll eat them, but I prefer my jerky in non-stick mode. Jerky glaze. Exactly, John.
What? The John?
Jerky juice.
Jerky juice.
Jerky use.
Oh, let's not go down that rabbit hole.
I'll tell you something I don't like about the sticks. I don't like that sound it makes when I bite into it and you go through the hard rind and you get into the softer part.
The skin, you got to get through the epidermis.
The casing.
Yeah,
there's a weird
tube.
sound texture.
The skin tube. Chris, that's a good question. Sorry, Eric, I know you're behind on you probably want to get some of the comments up there.
Yeah, I do.
I'll wait until you do that.
All right. So, we got people voting. Do we want to count votes? If you haven't voted, go ahead and vote. Let's see. What do we have amongst us? We have 2 jerky and 1 Dorito, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Let's see. Historian says purple sweet chili Doritos.
There you go.
2-2. Tyler, welcome. Says beef jerky all the way. 3-2. Savannah says jerky 4-2. Caden, welcome. Could definitely go with beef jerky, 5-2.
Oh, it's running away with it.
Samantha Doritos. Did we get her vote?
Samantha said Samantha, sorry. I haven't gotten to her yet, I don't think. John, original Doritos.
Ooh.
So 5-3.
I think it's going to tie it up. Oh my goodness, Mrs. Liming, Mama Liming.
Doritos. I'm in my ancestral bedroom right now, so
Now-
I'm actually at Mama Liming's house.
Hey, if you get out of line, Brady, you say the F word tonight, there's going to be some fingers reach out and grab that ear and pull you off screen real quick.
That's right. That's right. Laura, with a very specific way of consuming the Doritos on the road trip, Doritos and the one in shotgun position feeds the driver. So no Dorito dust on your driver fingers.
Laura, I need to go on road trips with you.
Yeah.
That's the
Man, we
treatment.
got a lot of voting going on.
Yeah. Riley and the wifey says Doritos, Todd.
So I think we're
Yeah.
5-4.
Did you get Savannah? You get John's jerky?
See, Samantha says Doritos 5-5. Jim says Doritos 5-6 or 6-5 rather. Doritos.
By the way, hello, James.
Mama Liming 7-5 Doritos. Riley and Celia 9-5 Doritos.
Oh.
We've had a turn. John says jerky 9-6.
I think that's gonna about. Don't
That
call
came
it
out of
comeback.
nowhere.
If I'm being honest, I rarely eat just one without the other.
What?
I want a bite of the jerky and a bite of the Dorito back. I like the crunchy and the.
Can you make a sandwich? Like take a piece of link and put it between two Dorito, and then
Those sticks that have the cheese stick with it. Those cheese sticks are some of the like it's like a 2x4 in there. It's like kindling.
somebody eats one of those in 70 years, that link of cheese will still be in their colon somewhere.
Yeah, the edges are hard. So is it Doritos?
Doritos.
Doritos it is. Wow.
The one seed rolls.
Yes. All right. 4-5. Always a complicated matchup. Lay's potato chips. Now, again, we will give you the freedom as long as you stay in the Lay's family. It's any flavor of Lay's. And this is the one that really made me ask that question right off the bat, because I noticed I took a gander and I saw this next one. Pop-Tarts. Now, the Pop-Tart family has a lot to offer.
Oh, yeah.
So it depends on the tart.
Tart.
So your choice is any Lay's potato chip versus any pop. Now, if you're talking about those Pop-Tarts with no icing on them, whatever the hell those things were, get out of here.
They give those to people in Guantanamo. That's the only place.
Those are not true Pop-Tarts, are they? Are there some generic version?
No, the Pop-Tarts had them too. And the reason
really?
I know that is yeah.
Are those the ones that are served in schools, maybe?
No, the ones at school, they give the wheat ones, and they're lower calorie, and a lot of times they give. With school, we have blueberry sometimes, strawberry. We have all the flavors, but most of the time it's the cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
I have a favorite. I always like the cinnamon ones. I love the cherry ones. But the new entry is there is a hot fudge sundae one, and it's excellent.
Sounds good.
Just don't give me that
It's
s'mores
solid.
one. Nothing wrong with the s'mores, but they mess with the crust part of they make it like a graham cracker crust on the pop, and it just tastes like it's just stale. You know what I mean? It's just damp. It's like
historian's ready to fight.
He is.
Ooh.
I wouldn't mess with him, folks. Don't even try it.
Randallin, my daughter.
Uh-oh. I just realized I'm the one he's going to fight now.
Correct.
But
It's going to give you a suplex off the top rope.
he'll put his finishing move on you.
I warn you now. My finishing move is the flying butt pliers, Chris. Learned it on Ren and Stimpy.
Complete with flatulence.
I haven't had to use it yet, but I learned it on Ren and Stimpy. many years ago.
Randall and I, neither one, like the s'mores had a strange aftertaste to it. And I think, is it like a smoke? Is it like a faux fire smoke?
No, it's the crust part is not the typical Pop-Tart crust. It's a graham cracker embedded crust. And
Is that
it's
what
just
it is?
like
Because
it's like damp sand. It's just like
Damn sand.
damp sand. That's hilarious.
I like the innards. Don't get me wrong. I like the guts. I like the guts of it, but I just don't like the outer.
I remember one time as a Ute, I dropped, when I say drop my Pop-Tart, I only dropped it like 3, it slipped out of my hand and landed on the table, but it fractured in a way where it split in half, the top half and the bottom. And it was a glorious day because the top half had the icing and it had all the filling on it without the excess. And that was like a beautiful, it's like eating the top of the muffin, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was absolutely perfect. Never been able to replicate that since.
Everybody knows the weakest part of a Pop-Tart, and that's the corners. The corners just don't hold up.
No.
Show me a Pop-Tart with 4 corners, and I'll show you a fraud.
Yeah. Well, the Pop-Tart corners are like the color beige. I can't explain it, but you know exactly what I mean.
They put all the girth in the middle. They put all the strength in the meat of the Pop-Tart.
Because they're poorly engineered.
Yeah.
They need a re-engineering.
Remember they had the Pop-Tart sticks or whatever?
Yeah. Does anybody heat their Pop-Tarts anymore? I don't really. Of course, you'd put it in too long, it'd be like this temperature of mercury, like, it'd be tongue punching lava when you bite into it. Like, and it's just like gets a 3rd-degree burn. It's horrible.
I like the chocolate Pop-Tarts. Those are my favorite.
Those are good.
And the Oreo ones aren't bad.
Oh, yeah.
All right, are we voting?
Oh,
yeah.
Let's vote. Haven't even
I'm
talked
saying
about
Pop-Tart.
chips. There's some good. There's some good flavored Lay's chips. I love. Somebody up. Let me try to find it here. Somebody said, "Oh yeah, Savannah. The cheddar sour cream are fantastic. It depends on the barbecue. I like the one that's the it's kind of the black front, the black bag, kind of like
KC
which one that
Masterpiece. Is that?
no, not that.
I think
Now,
those have
if
gone
these were
away.
if these were Husman's barbecue chips, then that would be no brainer.
Grippas?
I like Grippas too, but I'm a Husman's guy. But have
It's
you had
Lay's.
those? Have you had those? The works or whatever they're called, potato chips from Lay's.
No.
It was like Canada's top flavor. It's like 3 or 4 flavors in one. It's like barbecue. Eric, we pulled up. Do you still have the
I can
power to
pull
do
it up.
that?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's called the works or what. I don't think it's called the works, but it's a purple bag. All dressed. There you go. There you go.
All dressed, yeah.
Pulls up. Those things are fantastic.
What
So because of that flavor alone, I'm going Lay's potato chip over Pop-Tart.
Okay, Ruffles is the works. So Lay's is all dressed.
All dressed, yeah.
it's supposed to taste like a fully loaded baked potato?
No, it's Eric will tell you. It's like three of the top flavors in one chip. In one bag, Benjamin.
By egg. Okay, here we
let me
go.
see if I can
All
share
dressed. Okay, I got it now. It is Lay's all dressed chips are literally the best of all the chip flavors. Barbecue, salt and vinegar, sour cream and onion, and that sounds like gag. So that's a hard pass for me. If gag was a flavor, that's what it
Lay's gag. Gag in a bag. Oh, they're really good though. So if because of those, I would pick Lay's chips over Pop-Tarts.
And I don't have to commentary much about it, but or go on about it. I don't have a problem with potato chips, but it's just not my go-to snack usually. I don't crave potato chips often, except a Pringle. But
Okay, I can't bring up the picture right now. So savory, tangy, and sweet.
Who doesn't like savory, tangy, sweet stuff?
Brady.
no,
Apparently not.
I like those things, just not that combination. If
Well,
they would take out the sour cream, and if they would take out the vinegar, I'd be okay with
Brady,
it.
I would be willing to bet if I blindfolded you and fed you those chips without telling you what flavors they were, you would love them.
No, I guarantee you that I would be like the guy on Monty Python's The Meaning of Life, and I would projectile vomit. I would vomit 20 feet in a stream, like somebody just knocked the end off of a fire hydrant.
No, because I'm going to be honest with you. It's funny because I don't notice any of those flavors standing out. So that's how good of a That's how good of a mixture it is. Nothing rules the roost. They all play well together.
Meld together.
Yeah.
Chris, you made me queasy.
Chris, I apologize. This is probably the first time he and I have ever disagreed on anything.
Yeah.
I'll give him a try. I'll give him another try just for you, man.
Okay. So what do we vote?
Chip for me.
Carrots.
This is a weird matchup. You agree?
It is. It is a very strange
weird
matchup.
Because I don't, for whatever reason, I just can't get beyond in my mind. I don't consider Pop-Tarts a road trip snack. I don't go into the gas station expressly to buy Pop-Tarts to eat in my car. It seemed like something I sit at my kitchen table and eat.
Well, and if you go to a gas station, you typically, I think you only get it's like at school, we get a Pop-Tart. There's not tarts. Yeah. There's just one singular.
Oh,
yeah.
Sensation.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable.
It's kind of true because this one just gets you warmed up for the second one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
I want two Pops Tart in my bag.
Pops Tart. All right. So we have I vote chips, by the way. So if you didn't know that by what I said. So we have 2 chips and 1 Pop-Tart. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. Samantha says Pop-Tart. It's 3-1. John says get Lay's all the way. So there's a 4-1. Historian says s'mores Pop-Tarts. There's 4-2. Caden classic strawberry all day, 4-3. I'm assuming classic strawberry is not a Lay's potato chip flavor, so I'll assume that's Pop-Tarts. Laura, Pop-Tarts, anything but cinnamon. So that's 4-4. Cinnamon. Savannah, Lay's barbecue or cheddar sour cream times 2. So there's a 6-4. Now, we're going to have to call for a ruling here. Now, Tyler went, this is Frito-Lay, so he went with Fritos. I'm assuming Fritos may appear somewhere else in the bracket.
Yeah,
they actually don't. And this is a tough one because what it says is Lay's potato chips. So while we are open to any flavor of Lay's potato, I think it needs to be chip form. Okay. Tyler, does that change your vote?
Yeah. So Tyler, go ahead and vote again. Either the potato chip or the Pop-Tart.
I was trying to make the Family Feud X like in my screen.
All right.
Sorry, Tyler.
Let's see.
I just realized with James' comment that I went against my last vote of not having messy fingers, and some of these flavor of chips would create messy fingers. But Pop-Tarts could too.
Mama Liming says Lay's potato chips. I lost count. What did I say? It was 5-4. 5-4 Lay's. Tyler says potato chips over Pop-Tarts. So 6-4.
I think that's.
I got to put that comment up. Brady will vote Lay's all dressed, but only if they can be dipped in mayonnaise.
I mean, gave me them.
Have you guys ever wished like your Pop-Tart was thicker just a little fat. It needs to be about twice the thickness of the. Don't you agree?
Needs to be more girthy.
It does.
They probably made him like that. Well, because it would be in their best interest, because sometimes those skinny Pop-Tarts, they get stuck. They used to get stuck in the toaster holes, and they would get all.
Yeah, but I think once they realized that nobody actually puts their Pop-Tart in the toaster, they could have went ahead and made them thick. Well, here's the deal. Oreos have been experimenting with all kinds of thickness. Why not Pop-Tarts? Why can't we get an extra thick Pop-Tart?
A double stuff Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Double fill.
Or even triple stuff Pop-Tart. And you can even leave the corners weak ass. I don't care if they fall off. I'll be honest with you. I break around I break the perimeter anyway. I break it all up and eat it all at once, and then I take the filled part and have at it.
Yes.
Yeah, Jim. Pop-Tarts. I think it's 6-5.
It's Kane agrees with me.
I think Lay's potato chips ekes it out.
Ekes.
Indeed.
All right. Moving right along, fellas. Now, let's see if you guys agree with my take on this. The 3 versus 6 seed. Oreos. And again, you can make it you can make it the double stuffed, you can make it the big stuff, you can make it the thin Oreos, whatever thickness of Oreo that you prefer. Say you voted Lay's.
Yeah.
It already won though, so
yeah. So 7-5.
Versus combos.
Cambos.
Now, my opinion is that combos should have been up against Lay's, and the Oreos should have been up against the tarts.
So this seems to be a direct competition between sweet teeth and savory.
Right.
Do we have sweet tooth in the audience, or do we have sweet teeth in the or is it sweet tooths?
Sweet tooths. Chris, I believe golden Oreos would be okay as long as it's still in the Oreo family and it's a cookie.
But no Hydrox. We're not talking about Hydrox.
No hydrochloroquine or whatever.
No kaleidoscopes. Or whatever that generic shit say you always buy. That's what they say. I'm talking to you. I'm calling you out. Nobody knows the difference. Your ass.
Don't go making my Oreo dessert treat with those, whatever you call them, kaleidoscopes.
There's one brand that just always tastes dusty. They just they have a coating of skank on them, like somebody murdered somebody in the Oreo factory and they dusted for prints and left just on the Oreos.
Okay.
Mercy.
This is complicated. This is difficult because I'll tell you what, I do love the peanut butter combo. And
they make peanut butter combos?
Oh yeah.
I've never seen a peanut butter combo.
I haven't either.
Really?
I've seen peanut butter. I've seen pretzels with peanut butter infused in the midst.
Yeah, there was a peanut butter combo. And I like the pizza. There's one kind I didn't like, and I don't remember what it was, but usually you get the peanut butter ones or the pizza ones. Those were the two available ones. Oh,
yeah,
or
there is
just
a cheese
straight
one.
up cheese.
There is a cheese one I don't like. I think it's nacho. I don't think I like the nacho cheese ones.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's break this down even further. Do you like the combo that is the cracker based or the combo that is the pretzel based?
I've liked them both at various times. I don't know. But here's what I respect about combos, Eric. They've never done anything different than that.
Correct.
There hasn't been a different shaped combo. There hasn't been a.
Wasn't there a dessert combo? Am I misremembering a graham cracker one with a chocolate filling? I'll look that up while you're talking. It seems like there was a sweet one. Let me look.
I know goldfish have gone off the reservation and gone with sweet.
What?
I know goldfish have gone off the reservation and went some sweet flavors.
I don't think so, Brady. I might be wrong, but I don't think so.
Of course, you did tell Brady that he had never seen circus peanuts individually wrapped, and He called your bluff.
Well, but let's be honest. You could find a picture of about anything on the internet. Have you ever seen one, Eric? Have you ever seen just one peanut, a single?
I don't know why anyone would individually wrap something so vile. So no,
You just scoop them up and put them in a bag and hope for the best. That's what that factory did.
I mean, we're weighing things out between circus peanuts and those god awful peanut butter candies at Halloween. You know,
binders, twine, and bite. That's what they are.
Yeah. What Eric's referring to is in episode 1, Brady mentions the circus peanuts and talked about just one, like a single circus peanut being handed out. And I think it was his church.
It's a trick or treat, some
trunk or treat type thing. And I argued that they did not come individually wrapped and told him I've still never seen one. And he produced a picture of a bunch of individually wrapped. I believe it was AI though.
I'd rather have a penny in my trick or treat.
What?
Bag. A penny.
Oh, I thought you said,
What do you think I said? What do you think I said?
Son, you got a panty on your head. You said panty.
No, not a panty. A penny.
I instantly went to Raising Arizona when he tries to rob the.
All right. Can I regale you with here is every combo flavor ever.
Okay.
Buffalo blue cheese, cheddar cracker, cheddar pretzel, jalapeno cheddar tortilla, nacho cheese pretzel, pepperoni pizza, pizzeria pretzel, and that is all that is listed here.
Somebody said something about have 7-layer combos. Savannah said that. I've never heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow,
sound good.
So you were misremembering your dessert combo. Is that what you're telling us?
Chris has a great idea. I'm going to pull out Eric Up's last comment about what the combo should do. That is fantastic.
Combos should come in a package with 2 extremely long combos like only the length of a Slim Jim or something similar.
Man, could you imagine?
Ooh. I can't imagine having a Twix size. Just one Twick of a combo would be enough to fill you up, but that would be heavy, wouldn't it? Or is it just mental? Because you could eat a whole bag of them.
That's true. Yeah, just mental. They need to be longer, about the size of a Slim Jim, about as big around as a kindergarten pencil.
Kindergartners no longer use kindergartner pencils.
Yeah.
I also left off cheddar, cheese, and baked. No, I said that. Sorry. I just found another the actual combo site, and I was just trying to see. I'm incorrect. I'm misremembering that. So no sweet combos.
All right. So what are we voting?
Oreo.
I may or may not have been guilty when I was younger of just slurping the meat out of a combo and throwing the outer shell away.
The combo vampire.
Yeah, but you had to. Some of them were packed too tight. You couldn't do that. It had to be nice, and it had to be perfectly packed where you could just and you
gotta watch that slurping meat.
I know what creature. I know what creature Todd would be. This might be an ism. He's a combo cabra. Instead of a chupacabra that sucks the blood out of animals, he's a combo cabra.
I'm probably going to go Oreo because I eat them. Neither one of them I eat very often. But there's nothing like a soggy Oreo right out of it.
You dip it in milk.
You got to dip it in milk. Yes.
No.
Neither one of you do that?
No. Actually, Rigid Ramblin' had this contraption. It's got an official Oreo. It's got an official Oreo mug in this little contraption that you stack the Oreo like poker chips and you lower it in like the Salem witch trial thing. And it's a handy dandy. It's a nice gadget, but anyway.
You know good and well drinking milk makes me vomit.
I know. I thought Brady liked milk though.
No, I don't love it.
That's why you eat cereal with a fork.
Guys, and your weak bones.
But
your bones are about to shatter right now as you're sitting there. You haven't never drink any milk.
I'll just throw this out real fast. I crave Oreos, but I don't crave combos. I like them both and will eat them. But if I'm craving one of the two, it's going to be an Oreo.
Well, again, like Brady. Go ahead.
I was going to say is exactly right. You had to crack the combo in half, and then you scoop out the innards.
Now, I've done that as well. Now, wasn't it great when you could crack the combo in half and keep the innards intact? It was a bad day when you cracked the combo in half and the innards went in each half.
Oh yeah. So the perfect, it's like a wishbone. It's like when you crack the combo in half, and the top layer came off.
Yeah.
You know, like a
convertible.
Star Wars vehicle hatch. It comes off the top.
Yeah.
And you're left with the bottom half, and then the entire roll, the entire log of meat, of combo meat. And then what you did was you took that and you scraped it against the
I was hoping it was coming.
You scrape it.
So the way to attack that is the same as you attack the skin of the little Debbie that gets caught on the
cellophane.
Exactly. You got to have touch. You can't. I mean, it helps from a bass player. I have good hands, good fingers. You got to have control. But every once in a while, you get the perfect combo like that, and it's beautiful when it happens.
It's harmonic convergence.
You just eat the bottom half with the combo, with the meat intact.
In my case, like Brady, I like both, but as I always am, the sweet tooth always wins out. So Oreos in any shape or form, although I'm not a fan of. I don't like to go too far off the reservation. I can deal with the golden Oreos, okay, but some of these crazy things they've done with the Oreos, I'm not a fan. So, but I'll still say
like what? Like what is your least favorite Oreo bastardization?
I mean, I can't even say because I see these off the wall flavors and I put them out of my mind. I can't even name them.
I've eaten a key lime Oreo before.
No. No,
Brady.
There's been red velvet.
Ooh, I like a red velvet Oreo. Brady would eat key lime anything. Brady would eat a key lime combo.
Yes, he would.
Yeah, a graham cracker outside with sweet key lime innards. Gosh, that sounds great.
If you stuffed a combo shell with jerk chicken and key lime pie, Brady would.
Yep.
All right. So amongst us, we have 3 Oreo votes. So let me scroll back up here. And so Tyler says combos. So that's 3-1. John says combos are sawdust. Oreos all the way. So there's a 4-1. Mama Liming says Oreos 5-1. Samantha says combos 5-2. The Browns say combos times 2, 5-4. Caden double stuffed Oreos all the way, 6-4. Laura pizza combos, 6-5. What is that?
Sorry, I didn't mean.
Now, this is not a vote, but again, I had to put the comment. The best off-brand Oreos I've ever seen were called Cream Betweens.
I think he means creme betwens.
Creme betwens.
I gotta trust you on this, Chris. I mean, I'm not saying there's not any good generic Oreos out there, and I will be honest. If it's cookies and cream ice cream, I don't really care what brand is in it.
So where do they sell? Where they sell, it's good. It's good. Where do they sell creme de twins? Is that like Aldi or some Save a Lot or where's that come from?
Odd Lots, Big Lots.
Ad Lats.
Let's see. Looking for votes. 6 to 5.
Karen votes Oreos. I don't know if you got that or not. Dennis. Oh, you're going from the top. Sorry.
Jim says combos. So it's 6 to 6. Dennis says Oreos. 7 to 6 Oreos. And Karen says 8 to 6. Makes it 8 to 6 Oreos.
So they're talking about Post Malone Oreos and Selena. I thought they were joking. Selena Gomez Oreos. How come we didn't get any Kelly Kapowski Oreos or any Kelly LeBrock Oreos or Heather Locklear Oreos?
Kylie Minogue Oreos.
Yeah.
So the creme between nice use of the sky comma there.
The fancy comma.
So
Not the commoner's comma.
Creme between.
Oh, look at this.
At a flea market where I do my grocery shopping.
That's right.
Or with our pronunciation, would it be a flea market?
Well, flea marquee. Yeah. Say it and Riley both say combos.
Oh, comma. Oh. So what does that make it? Does that win it for combos? That makes it
hard.
a tie. Makes it a tie.
Somebody else vote. Karen, where's your husband?
Yeah, we need a Dale vote.
He works third shift, does he, or second? He's probably at work.
Yeah, it could be at work. Anybody else?
Did Savannah? Did John vote Savannah?
Yeah, they said combos times 2.
Okay. They've been together all night. They haven't disagreed. John's playing it safe.
I'm going to message Reagan real fast to
see. He's working.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh. I mean, there's in stereo.
Exactly. The Phoebe Cates Oreos coming out of the pool in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Hold on.
She snacks in stereo.
Should I call Becky?
Wow.
Here, I got Reagan. See if I just texted her.
Now, Karen, don't let the cat out of the bag.
Hello?
Combos or Oreos?
Who?
Combos or Oreos?
Oh, Oreos out of the way.
There we go.
Okay.
There you go, Becky.
You broke the tie.
Combos or Oreos?
No, we have other people voting.
We all said Oreos too.
Well, there's 3 Oreo votes down there then.
There we go.
Oreos.
Oreos it is.
All right. Which works out because Lay's won the Doritos and Lay's won the first 2 matchups. So we finally have a sweet treat. Sweet treat. You guys ready for the next matchup? 2 versus 7.
Well, the historian says where are the Phoebe Cates Oreos?
Exactly. We already talked about that. Yeah, we said the Phoebe Cates Oreos coming out of the pool.
Yeah, that's what I said. Snacks in stereo.
I think Phoebe Cates would be more like Tootsie Rolls, wouldn't they?
Eric, that pushes the TV 14. That's almost TV 15 and a half.
TV 15.
All right. So we have number 2 versus 7. 2 seed Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its.
Solid.
Now, somebody earlier, I believe it was the historian, mentioned Buc-ee's. So we have our first and only Buc-ee's team. Team Buc-ee's and their Beaver Nuggets.
Beaver Nuts.
So
Beaver Nuggets.
We have
I thought it was Beaver Nuts.
Beaver Nuts
for the win.
Number one answer.
I don't even know what Beaver Nuggets are.
I've seen them. I've had them actually. I've had them.
They're delicious.
What are they?
It's just like the puffed popcorn that you get, but it's caramel. You don't like caramel?
Don't like any sort of pop gearn.
You don't like popcorn?
The air puffed without the actual.
I just don't like. No, not even without the holes. I don't like it.
Really? That's surprising.
These are something else, man. It's the beatus in a bag, but it's delicious.
Do you eat those with a napkin? Sounds like you make your hands sticky.
He eats with a fork, a toothpick for each nut.
No, I'll tell you how I eat them. If I could put straps on each ear, I'd eat it like old Flossie in an oat bag on my snout. That's how I would do it.
What in the hell was that visual? Gosh.
Strap your old feed bag on.
Yeah. Like,
I just got a human caterpillar visual in my head.
Human centipede.
That's what I meant. What is that? I said caterpillar. That's
What are them creepy crawlies?
That's the TV-14 version of the human centipede. Gosh. Wow, that's my mistake of the night. Yeah.
So would the human caterpillar turn into the Mothman?
I don't know.
Anyway, so
Wow.
Savannah, are there beaver nuts that are cheesecake flavor?
Or is she saying they're Cheez-Its that are cheesecake flavor?
Oh.
Or is it a play on words?
Or is she just wanting cheesecake? I mean, like it's cheese, not cheesecake.
Okay. I saw the end.
I was going to say, Savannah, you have seen the absolute fit Eric has thrown over cheesecake being in tournaments before.
Oh yeah. Well,
don't get him started.
Not a pie. We're not talking about pie.
Did you guys have that cheesecake that Cheez-It apparatus from Pizza Hut there at one time where they had the giant Cheez-It? It was about yay big.
No.
Yeah, they had them at Pizza Hut for a while. They had like a partnership with Cheez-It, and it was a Cheez-It about the size of your face. A Cheez-It, and it had.
Was it warm and soft, or was it just a big old giant?
No, it was warm and soft.
I think I'd have an issue with that.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
So, and by the way, Cheez-Its, not Bits, not any of these off-brand, because there's a definite difference. There's nothing tastes like a Cheez-It in these squaw cheese flavored.
What's the major competitor?
Bits. Nibs.
Is
it Nibs or Bits?
Cheese Nibs.
Nibs.
Cheese Nips. Yeah.
Not Nips. Nibs.
Is it Nibs?
With a B.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, not Nips. Can't say Nips. Someone would have an issue with that. Someone just called me TV-15 for alluding to that. Nibs.
Yeah, I'm like you. But in the Pizza Hut, the problem with a warm, soft Cheez-It is it's like finding one you've been sitting on for the entire road trip. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to eat that one.
No.
Tyler says if he goes into Buc-ee's, I'm not walking out with beaver nuts. So Tyler, I've never been to Buc-ee's, but I am intrigued by all their sandwich up. Don't they have like brisket and things like that?
It is phenomenal. So our longtime listener, Karen and Kenny Enlow, has just sent me a text message. They're coming back from Florida, and guess where?
Oh, hey, can we order some beaver nuggets?
Yeah,
Brady wants some beaver nuts.
You can bring some of those back too.
Oh,
yeah.
So
I'm going. So I like air popped or the popcorn, the caramel corn of any flavor. Yeah. So I'm going beaver nuggets over Cheez-Its.
This time I'm going with the bussies. Bussies.
She wants 2 bags. Give her 2 bags.
Did I miss something there?
No, Celia said she wanted 2 bags.
No. Of.
Yeah, that's true.
The bushies. Have you guys ever seen that Instagram reel?
I have. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. He's like, I love it when I stop at bushies.
I say Cheez-Its.
I say Cheez-Its. Yes, I do. I say Cheez-Its. How about
you?
We say beaver nuts. We say.
Tyler says he prefers his own brisket. Everybody loves the taste of their own brand.
Easy.
Oh.
Well, Tyler, that just means if we do our live event sometime, we'll have to have Tyler bring some brisket.
Brisket.
You got to risk it for the brisket, is what I say.
All right, so we have 2 beaver nuts and 1 Cheez-It. Voting has commenced, I think.
Yeah. Todd, did you go? Which one did you go with?
I went beaver nuggets all day long.
And Jim, you are correct. I believe goldfish are the major competitor to Cheez-Its.
I've never adapted to the fish-shaped cracker.
Fist.
Oh, first.
Harry's.
All right. Laura says Cheez-Its. That makes it 2-2. Karen says beaver nuts. Makes it 3-2 beaver nuts. John says Cheez-Its 3-3. Voting. Waiting on votes.
Kenny and Lowe. He chimed in the nuggets.
Kenny,
Oh,
now
yeah.
is that a vote?
I think he's correcting you, Brady.
I think he's saying it's not nuts, it's nuggets.
Kenny, if you bring us some bags of beaver nuggets, we'll buy them from you.
Mama Lonnie says Cheez-Its. So I think Cheez-Its has a 1-point lead. So Kenny, that can be a vote too. I mean, if you want to vote. Now, because I mean, again, they are big Buc-ee's fans. So I would assume that would be their vote. Ew. Goldfish did a butter beer flavor. What is that?
Oh, butter. It's a Harry Potter.
Butter beer
reference.
is like isn't it the Harry Potter
Yeah.
spin-off stuff?
Never
That's
got
what,
into
that's what they serve at Hogwarts.
Never got into Harry's Potter.
Well,
and I don't want to get into Harry's Potter.
Harold's Potter.
Yes, extra toasty Cheez-Its.
Samantha says Cheez-Its. So say you even though you voted for 2 bags of nuggets, you only get 1 vote.
Yeah, is Riley voting or is she
Beef nugs.
Beef nugs.
Bienvenuags.
Biave Nugés.
I think at this point, Cheez-Its is going to win.
Really? Sacrilege. Heresy.
How to see.
No.
Of course, I mean, to be honest, though, I mean, how many people have been to Buc-ee's? Because the closest one right now is in Richmond, Kentucky. Now there's going to be one in wherever, Heber Heights, I guess, eventually. I think they're building it right
Cheez-Its
now.
are more readily available.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think we almost could have said, I tried to explain it a couple of times, but if you've ever had any caramel corn, especially the air pop, like it doesn't have it's the fake popcorn, then you at least have an idea of what beaver nuggets are. Riley says Cheez-Its as well. Yeah. Well, Cheez-Its it is.
A resounding victory.
Man, I'm losing out on all the. I've only got one.
Are you guys ready for the what's this region? The drink region. So I'll let you pick because we won't be able to do this whole thing tonight. So do you want to do the drink region next, the fast food region, or the candy region? Because I think we can do them out of order. We don't have to do them.
Oh, I think we have an accusation here. Todd and Celia never taking Riley to Buc-ee's borders on abuse.
We've never been near one.
Podcast road trip, and we video us going to Buc-ee's.
Yeah,
We
we
get
do
some
like
of that
the.
sweet brisket and beaver nuts.
We're big Sheets fans.
Sheets.
The Sheets to have the actual restaurants in them that you could order from the kiosk, and they're pretty damn good food.
Well, I hear Wawa.
There's a Wawa coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not been to Wawa yet, but I've been by it.
So, do we want to do fast food, candy, or drinks next?
Let's go drinks.
Brady says drinks. Eric?
I don't know why.
Drinks.
Drink? Okay. 1 versus 8. Now, I don't understand this matchup because this is a classic matchup. And when I say classic matchup, you can probably guess right off the bat what the matchup is. So I don't understand why it's 1 versus 8. I could see 1 versus 2. Coca-Cola, number 1 seed. Pepsi Do, number 8 seed. Pepsi.
I'm Coke guy all day long, so that's going to be a.
Are you such a Coke? Are you such a Coke guy to where you would have one as the top seed and one as the bottom seed though? Are there 7 other soft drinks in betwixt?
RC. I'm kidding.
Swill.
But no, I'm very team Coke. It's not that I hate Pepsi, but I've always had a preference for Coke.
Okay, so as we did with the chips and the Oreos and whatnot, is this the Pepsi family or just Pepsi?
I say any flavor of Pepsi, but not the Pepsi family. So Mountain Dew wouldn't count.
So just like the Fritos cherry do not count with the Lay's.
The cola.
Cherry Pepsi, clear Pepsi. Anybody's feeling brave. Coke, cherry Coke, the orange
Coke Classic,
Coke
Zero, the orange cream Coke.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you guys. I am a Coke guy. But every once in a while, I get a hankering for a Diet Pepsi. And a hunka. What is it? A hunk?
Slabber, slicer, chunka.
A hank for a hunka.
Hanker for a hunka. Slabber, slicer, chunka.
No, but every once in a while, I get to craving a Diet Pepsi, and I got to go get a Pepsi Do.
Pepsi Do.
Tab?
Tab or Diet Right?
Tab or Diet and Rot?
Diet Riot.
Diet Riot. Diet Rot. Oh, man. Tab could have
Tablature?
I would drink RC over Tab. Tab was just, oh. Yeah, the saccharin left a film on the inside of your mouth.
Oh.
Yeah. Emphasis on the sack.
Sack.
It's like, yeah. I was never a Tab fan, although I haven't had it in decades, so I wouldn't mind trying it now.
Because everybody liked it died because it's like made from Chernobyl water or something.
People are voting for pops that are the pop. It's Pepsi versus Coke. People, everybody knows that whatchamacallit will beat them all. What's the one? The Faygo. Faygo beats them all.
Faygo.
Faygo is Michigan. It's a Michigan pop.
Yeah, it's a Juggalo thing. The only people that drink.
There's Faygo around here back in the day.
I know, but it's from Michigan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be as easy to win for Coke as you thought, Brady.
Yeah.
I only drink cola. I rarely drink cola. I only drink cola.
That sounded very, I don't know what sounded, that was just funny. That sounded very like presidential. Like I only drink cola.
Like a liter of cola.
It's not my go-to. So I don't know that I have favorite colas in each family. I can drink a Coke Zero just fine. Since Coke has taken over Mount Orb, I can't get a Pepsi product. I can't get a Diet Mountain Dew anywhere. So, I mean, I drink Coke Zero. But
I like Diet Dr. Pepper.
yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. And honestly, if I go towards a cola, that would be the cola usually I would go towards if I have that
I like
option.
Diet root beer too.
Root beer. So it makes you very belchy. Root beer.
That's why I like it.
But I mean, to pick between these two, I just don't know. It's a very difficult vote.
It's easy for me. I'll go ahead. I'm going Coke Zero because that's what I drink 99% of the time. But I do occasionally enjoy a Diet Pepsi.
Well, and I guess I'll go along with that. If we have to be tethered to the cola, I probably would go with Coke.
Yeah. James, did you know that some McDonald's have Coke Zero? Not
Yes.
all of them.
Yes. I've gotten Coke Zero at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it has the unique taste that the regular Coke does in comparison. Do you think it does?
I don't know. I actually, what I drink more than anything is caffeine-free Coke Zero. And I'll fight anyone that says they can taste the difference between caffeine-free pop and non-caffeine-free pop.
See, and now here's my issue that I've had with the name Coke Zero. If you call something zero, it should have none of that stuff in it. Should have no sugar, should have no caffeine.
I agree.
Why does the zero just relate to sugar? When you already have a Diet Coke whose purpose is to not have sugar.
It's zero calories.
I think Pepsi takes care of that. I think Pepsi calls it Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Yes.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy a Pepsi Zero. I had a Pepsi Zero at the Chinese buffet restaurant the other day.
Well, the branding on all this stuff has gone to zero instead of diet. Yeah. Or they tried to push the zero part instead of the diet part. But although there is, like, if you take Mountain Dew, I think there is a taste difference between a Mountain Dew Zero and a Diet Mountain Dew. I like the Diet Mountain Dew better. I
actually do as well. Yeah, I don't drink either one of them very often, but if I have my druthers, or my Arthur's Treasures.
Arthur's Treasures. I saw one of those in Akron.
That's another thing that's interesting, going back to the old episodes and seeing how many sayings that I get, how many things I have just no clue about that I like. The metallic, I thought it was metallic pee as in metallic urine for the for the National Lampoon's Vacation movie.
Not PEE, PEA.
Yeah, I was 40. Let's see, this is our 5th year. So I was 43 years old when I learned that.
Well, I mean, the movie came out when? I mean, it came out when you're like 5, so
83. So I
really
was probably I was 6 years old.
So I mean, really took you 37 years to learn that.
True.
So give you the benefit of the doubt there.
It was funny because I was listening to that first episode, and something came around, and you guys were talking about how it was probably before my time, and we were talking about ages. And Brady said, I was like, I think you said, one of you asked, was that before your time? And I said, I don't know. How old are you guys? And Brady said, I was 48. And then I was thinking, well, if he was 48, either way, it blew my mind how long it had been since that first episode.
Yeah.
Because in my head, it was 6 years. But then I'm like, well, we did it in March. I was going to be this age in the next month. Brady in a couple months. Eric. So, but either way, we were all at the end of that year.
Yeah.
Birthday wise. So I guess it's been 5 years. It was 5 years, March 10th. Actually.
Yep. Man.
Yeah.
Unreal.
It is.
Yeah. And by the way, those of you that have been following us the entire time, come on, you guys rock.
Yes, you do.
We've ran a slew of you off, but you guys that stick around.
All right, so we have 3 Coke votes here. Is that what we have?
Yes, we do.
All right. Let me go back up here to the votes.
To the votes.
All right. Celia says Cokes. That's 4-0. The Browns have diverged.
Ooh.
Savannah says Diet Pepsi. John says Coke.
Pessy do.
Pepsi do. All right. So that's 5-1.
Cross.
Samantha Randall says Coke. Historian has not voted because he would take Tab or Diet Right over either. You got to pick a side here.
He's educating everybody. He's going. He's right. Fago's made from the water in Flint, Michigan.
Lindsay, the whoop whoop thing that tickled my funny bone when the Fago reference. It's an insane clown posse. They've got some kind of cultish affinity for Fago.
Now, Savannah brings up an interesting point there. Savannah enjoys the occasional Diet Coke, but Coke upsets her stomach. So some people have to vote on how they tolerate it. And I never really thought of that.
True.
And I'm going to be honest with you, Savannah. I tip my hat to you because I don't know that I pay enough attention to what upsets my stomach. I know a lot does, but I don't know what. So I'm always impressed when people know what it is. They can pinpoint what it is.
Seems like much more upsets my stomach than used to.
Right. I think I just stopped
especially
paying
right
attention.
now.
Yeah. Well, water upsets my stomach. So I mean,
Water begets water.
All right. So I think we have with Mama Liming's vote of Coke, it's 6-1. Tyler says Coke 7-1. No, not Fresca, John. I think you voted
Fresca
on
exists in
there.
Mexico.
Isn't it fresher?
Fresca. 6-2. As Laura says Diet Pepsi.
Pessy do.
Let's see.
James agreed with us that Diet Mountain Dew over Zero any day.
Yes.
And James, the interesting thing about that is any other pop, I like the Zero better than the Diet. I like a Zero Coke better than a Diet Coke. I like a Pepsi Zero over a Diet Pepsi. I like a Dr. Pepper Zero over a Diet. I don't know actually on that one.
John says Pepsi, so that's 6-3. Kenny, Pepsi 6-4. Pepsi making a comeback. Don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. Been here for years.
I made the historian take sides.
Brady just had a tick.
No, don't call it a comeback. Don't call it a comeback.
Chris, if it's yellow, let it mellow, Chris. Am I right? Am I right?
I've always been afraid to drink Mellow Yellow since one of my dear friends, told it as a middle schooler, he drank it and made him pee the bed. Like it was the dye in it, I think.
Mellow Yeller.
Such a poor competitor to Mountain Dew. I mean,
I'll be honest with you though. At one time I liked Mellow Yeller. Is it still around?
Yeah.
You can
get a Mellow Yellow Zero at the Coke machine at Weenies.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think, Eric, if I blindfolded you, held you down, and poured cups of Mellow Yellow and Mountain Dew in your mouth, you would know the difference?
If you poured Mellow Yellow down my gullet versus Mountain Dew, I certainly would know the difference.
I just had this vision of Eric bonging a Mellow Yellow, like the funnel with the tube.
What's the other one? What was the off-brand? What was the Mr. Pibb brand of was it like called Old Mountain or something?
No. The Mellow Yellow is the Mr. Pibb.
No, there was another one though. There was Mountain
Thunder.
Mountain Crisp.
Mountain Thunder, Mountain Holler, I think was one.
There was a Mountain Lightning.
Yeah. Depending on if you were at Walmart's or Kroger's.
Yeah, I remember something like Mountain
Himalayan Dew.
Golden Shower or something. I mean, something along those lines.
Golden Shower. That's a different pop.
I do. People are still talking about the Fago. Laura, I love Fago. Eric knocked it because it's a belch machine, but I prefer that. That's how you know it's good.
Looks like.
Oh God, Karen, you're gonna make me vomit. God. This picture,
For
little
those of
flakes of
you-
food floating around in it. Brebs.
Sun drop. There was squirt. Squirt.
There's nothing worse
Squirt
than
was the other
dishwater.
one.
I got to be honest with you. Dishwater is hell's liquid. It's liquid hell. Gosh. Gosh.
Samantha's never had Fago.
Pushing the PG. It's TV 14 rating, James.
Moon mist. That's what happens after too much Taco Bell.
I think Coke takes it.
Yes.
But Pepsi made it come back.
Did Coke have a Did Coke have a clear Coke? Was that ever a thing?
No, they were too wise.
Yeah, it was Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was abysmal.
I mean, was Pepsi at its zenith during the Pepsi challenge? I mean, is that when they hit their zenith?
Yeah. After Coke crapped the bed with new Coke.
Yeah.
And Pepsi's still around. I mean, it's not like it's.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's literally like third now. It's not even the number 2.
I mean, we can all agree it's second hind teat, but it's still around.
Oh, it's a couple teats back now.
It's the middle of the teat row.
I have a comment from Karen Inlow from vacation, and she says, Fago is the soda that you get when you're in a hospital.
That is true.
in the can that's this tall.
Yeah, the shot glass size can, which then they make you do the urine test in it after you drink it because it's the same size, and it just goes right back into the...
And they can bring you a straw with it. That you never look sillier than drinking a Fago shorty out with a straw. You know what I mean? Like you get the little can of Fago and they bring a regular sized straw with it.
Ain't no shawty need a straw.
Shawty. So Laura has a question. Which one had lime back in the early 2000s?
Squirt.
There was Squirt. There
Slab.
was...
Didn't
Squirt.
Coke have lime? Was that lime Coke?
There was a couple iterations of that, yeah. There was.
Exactly, James. Pepsi earned a couple billion last year. They're not out of the they're not done.
Well, and Coke earned 10 billion or something.
Once you make your first billion.
Coca-Cola with lime was a popular choice introduced in 2005 and discontinued in 2006. So it didn't sound very popular there, AI. There's also a Diet Coke with lime and Coca-Cola Lime Zero Sugar. What?
Well,
You didn't have no zero back in 2005.
It was last summer where Coke had that AI generated mystery flavor, and it tasted like circus peanut cola.
No.
Because that
was it a single circus peanut or was it from a bag? Benjamin.
Bag, I would imagine.
You know, as long as we've been doing this 5 years now, there are some things we'll say, folks, that you'll never know why we say them. You just have to use your imagination.
It's kind of like a Masonic handshake. We just can't tell you.
I will say this about us. We don't say anything that doesn't mean something.
Oh, yeah. There's always some meaning behind it.
Right. I'm not bragging. I mean, it's just that we're that rehearsed.
Yeah.
So the next matchup, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no skin in this game. Starbucks latte
Bleh.
versus Arizona Arnold Palmer. Now, how about we say this? How about we say any Starbucks other than just like regular coffee, black coffee, versus any Arizona tea. Is that fair enough?
That's fair. Arizona iced teas. I've had them and they don't taste bad. Okay, like legit.
No,
But I always got the feeling that they were made with like formaldehyde and antifreeze. They just probably
gotta
made
chew
the
'em.
stuff that you shouldn't drink.
You got to chew them. You take a swaller and you got to chew the sugar. Like you got to.
So now choosing between the two, it's going to be Arizona because I'm not a caffeine drinker. So it's going to have to be Arizona.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of processed teas,
There's
even
one
from the
tea,
even from the fountain. It's got to be brewed. I mean,
except
anything.
Milo's.
Brouhahad.
Yeah, Milo's not bad. I'll give you that.
So how do you? So growing up, Eric, did you have tea in your household?
No, but Brady had tea in his household.
We did too. That was our go-to drink.
Matter of fact, I would order tea when I would go to like McDonald's, and I would get ruthlessly raked over the coals because what are you, 65 years old, ordering tea?
Eric's getting his tea. He's going to go home and watch some Matlock.
That was before Brady started drinking his prune juice, I assume.
That was about the same time, but that's
Well, Brady, you were a tea household.
Oh yeah.
So
Not
how
to
did you
be-
have it? Was it sun tea?
Oh no, it was
Nest tea?
brewed. No, it was just like tea bags and
tea bagging it.
tea bags and some sugar, and But now I did have a very dear friend. Whenever I went to his house, they would always offer me iced tea, and it was that Nest tea stuff. It tastes
Easy. That's what the Griffins drank.
Ooh, it's horrible, dude.
No.
Oh, it tastes
wanna tell
like
you something.
cigars and tea bags.
The people that had problems with Nest tea are the same people that try to claim IPA beers taste good.
Well, I don't like those either.
Okay, so when you say Nest tea, you're talking about like the glass container with the tea.
Yeah, it
granules
looks like
in
it had aquarium gravel in it. It was brown
Great.
aquarium gravel that you
I
would
always
stir in
hated
the
going to
water.
people's house like, oh, this is sun tea. You'll like this. Horse shit. It's sat in a glass jar on your deck, getting pissed in by bumblebees and hummingbirds.
That pollinates it. It makes it better.
No.
With the loving
that
touch
was
of
the
wings of a
first
hummingbird.
Yeah.
makes the tea
Those were the first.
magical.
But that was the Falcon Crest of tea drinkers back in the day.
Falcon Crest.
Nothing wrong with good old Nest tea. You put a dollop in the pitcher, you mix it, you put your sugar in, you put it in the fridge, and it's good as gold. It didn't have to sit on your patio for 5 hours before you could drink it.
No, I'm telling you, whenever I eventually end up on the psychiatrist's couch, that will be one of the things that's unearthed from my psyche about how ruthlessly I was dealt with for ordering tea as a teenager.
Well, Eric, I see the instigator right here. You just saw him giving me a hard time for the Nest tea. He was what a thug, what a tea thug Brady is.
I'm a tea thug.
No, but it wasn't Brady that gave me the hard time.
Oh,
No.
who was it? What can you say?
Let's just say fresh trout dinner.
Fresh trout. Oh, it doesn't surprise. I'm gonna text his ass right now. Who the hell does he think he is?
Well, not only him, but his sidekick too.
Oh, I'm texting right now.
Who would also scratch her eyes out.
Right.
Oh, that one? Hang on a minute. We're talking about different people.
No, we're talking about both of them.
Well, see, Brady
Oh,
wouldn't
the
order
sidekick.
tea.
I thought she meant his better half on the sidekick. Okay.
See, but I had the intestinal fortitude to go ahead and order my tea because I wanted it. Brady wouldn't order the tea because he was afraid of the ridicule.
So, Eric, shape my text for me. I hear you used to give Eric a hard time
That's
For-
important.
for liking what?
For ordering tea at McDonald's instead of pop.
For ordering tea at McDonald's
At a restaurant.
rather than McDonald's.
No, just restaurants in general.
Rather than
like
pop.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm going to say, I bet you also thumbed your nose at Nestea.
Oh, I picked my nose with Nestea. Oh,
You
so foul.
asshole. Actually, I'm not going to. I can't tell you what I'm actually texting.
having a podcast therapy session here.
All right, we'll see what they say. I'm not going to say their gender. I'm not going to assume their gender. After all these years, I'm not assuming their gender.
They, them.
Karen says she's also a tea thug. It has to be fresh brewed. Nestea is dishwater adjacent.
Karen, we're birthday buddies. You're breaking my heart tonight.
Ugh. No, and it's not even snobbery. Just I think it's because I grew up on brewed tea. The first time I had Nestea, it was just a jarring, And there
It was the best thing you've ever had. You were just ashamed to admit you liked it because you waited all day for your tea to be done at your house. We had it in an instant.
No, we didn't wait all day. That's just it. It took 5 minutes in the microwave.
Microwave? Come on.
You get a glass Pyrex dish.
What kind of podunk Adam and Eve tea were you drinking?
Eve tea.
Come on.
So 2 scoops of sugar, 3 tea bags.
Did you make this
with warm water? You have to use warm water. You can't mix the cold water because when you use warm water, it dissolves the sugar and there's a homeostasis in the mixture. And then you put the tea bags in, and it is 5.5 minutes in the microwave.
While you were unsheathing your bag of tea, I was already enjoying my Nestea with ice cubes.
He's like Walter White cooking meth. What is up with that? Didn't know so much went into it.
Oh gosh!
Well, that's what it was. I think that's why
Are you
people
ready
were
to hear something really crazy?
I think that's why people were so proud of their sun tea because they had to kick it off at dawn and they didn't get it until supper time.
I had someone I think not date me after a couple dates when they saw me make my tea, and I put 5 minutes and 37 seconds in the microwave because that was the sweet
too
spot.
Long. You mean you microwave each glass?
No,
come on,
no, dude. Okay, here's the process. It's like one of those quart Pyrex things. You fill it with water, your 2 scoops of sugar, and your 3 tea bags, and then once it's brewed, you pour it into your gallon pitcher, and then put in the water and stir it lovingly. And you don't swirl in a swirl. It's got to ricochet. It's got to go click, 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 click in a star shape.
My friend, you were making gruel. You weren't making tea. You were making shower gruel.
Gruel.
It's excellent gruel.
Oh my gosh!
Because I was dumped over by 5 minutes and 37 seconds, but I wooed ladies with my excellence in tea making.
Laura would have dumped your ass. I can tell because she says, "What barbarian?" Exactly, Laura.
Laura, was it you? Did you only go out with Brady once because he put 5 minutes and 37 seconds on the microwave?
And he heated up his Vienna sausages. Said microwave.
Oh.
I didn't know that. I didn't know all that went into it. See, because I come from a family we had our tea right away in an instant.
You just did so because Don Meredith told you so. Now, do you remember the commercials of Don Meredith and Fran Tarkenton, wasn't it? They always did the Nestea plunge.
It's good stuff.
So I was excited when I tried it because I'd seen the commercials for the Nestea plunge. Oh, I'm going to try Nestea, and then I drank it, and it was like,
So, serious question here. I mean, I may be days old when someone verifies this. Was it called Nestea because Nestle made?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Nestea.
Brady, I'll say this, Brady. I didn't have a problem with your kind as much as I did the Sun Tea people.
You're kind.
Don't tell me
You're
that,
kind.
that. Don't tell me the sun made that tea taste better than my Nest tea. It did not. If anything, the sun made it hot and too damp. Too damp. Your tea grains were
It's
too damp.
liquid. How can it not be damp?
It's sticky. There's bumblebee stingers in there. There's
Once again, when that bumblebee lovingly went from flower to flower, it has the pollens of multiple different
that's it.
flowers.
I don't want a glass of liquid pollen. I don't want
kidding about the
reproduction in a glass. I want Nest tea.
Reproduction. You don't want to put your pollen tube to work?
No.
Or I
Where
should say
does
it is the way they do in the movie.
go?
Put your pollen tube to work.
Oh, I think I'm going to throw up.
Oh, here we go with the Grease 2.
Grease 2 reference. Hey, Chris, the historian, and Sam, did you guys ever get around to watching Grease 2? You said you were going to try. I never got the verdict on that.
Gary.
So this has definitely hit a nerve with our audience. There are instant tea lovers and there are brewed tea lovers.
What are you, Eric?
Brewed. But I mean, my problem is since I've had the Beatus, it has taken away my taste for tea. I can't drink it anymore.
Really?
It is distasteful.
Huh.
Gotcha.
Karen Inlow just sent me a picture that her husband and dear listener Kenny has had a special tea stirring spoon for 40 years. He will not use anything else. He even took it on their Florida vacation.
Is it stained?
Wow. I mean, I've seen the poop knife, but I've never seen the tea stirring.
The teaspoon. Well, wait a minute.
So is that? But ask him, Eric Brady. Asked him, is that for his Nest tea?
No, it's
that for his
brewed only.
instant?
Yeah,
that-
brewed only. She says brews it only. Only if it's been brewed.
Brune.
Samantha, darling.
She
Now
did
that you've
watch
watched
Grease
it.
2.
She's watched it, and she says it wasn't bad. It's in a different class of its own in terms of the Grease movies. So Samantha, my claim, I have two famous claims. One of them is that sharks are inhuman, which is brilliant. The other one is if there were no Grease 1, Grease 2 would have been a hit,
A classic.
a classic. It would have been loved by everyone. Do you agree?
I mean, Maxwell Caulfield could have been a stratosphere sort of star.
Right.
And
Adrian
Adrian
And
Mid.
that girl Michelle Pfeiffer might have made it too.
Oh my gosh. A COOLRIDER is all she wanted.
She was our girl for all seasons, all the year through.
Right.
All
I
right.
don't know about
So
you guys, gentlemen, where you're at, but the skies have just gotten really black here as I'm looking around.
It's dark.
Brady,
I'm
Brady
looking out the window.
Brady and his weather fear stoking up.
Weather respect.
All right. So, gentlemen, since we've gone down the rabbit hole, Olivia Newton's John or Michelle Pfeiffer in the Grease universe?
My gosh, that's tough.
That's
Well,
tough.
okay. So let's give it to the ladies as well. So, boys, Olivia's Newton-John versus Michelle Pfeiffer. Ladies, John Travolta versus Adrian Zmed or Maxwell Caulfield.
Now, wasn't Maxwell Caulfield, wasn't he the lead guy? Wasn't he the John Travolta?
Not necessarily, because John Travolta was already a T-bird, and Maxwell Caulfield was British.
Right.
So
I would
he-
almost say that Adrian Zmed was the John Travolta role.
I would say that too.
And Maxwell Caulfield was. That's why Grease 2 is better because it brought in a new angle, a new dynamic.
But was it a new angle, or was Maxwell Caulfield just the Olivia Newton's John of Grease 2?
Well, you're right. That's right. He
Now
was the
that could be
Olivia's
valid.
Newton-John.
Oh,
I'm going to promise you guys. Here's the thing: those of you from Brown, Adams, Highland,
Wow.
Claremont, Hamilton County, we can't claim much, but I can guarantee you've never, ever, ever, you will never find another podcast that will pit the Grease 1 characters versus the Grease 2 characters. I promise you that.
True.
Yeah.
High quality.
Now, Karen gives her vote to Adrian's mid.
Let's bowl, let's rock and
Rock
roll.
and roll. Hey,
Come on, let's get the show on the road. We're going to score tonight.
We're going to score.
We're going to rock, we're going to roll, we're going to...
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Got some rain.
Brady's lights.
Did you see my lights? Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. We had some flickerage.
Karen, by the way, Adrian's med is beautifully spelled there. I'm not sure if it's right, but that's exactly how it should be spelled.
Yeah.
Smelled.
Smelled.
Laura's listening from Butler County.
Oh.
The same goes for Butler County. You've never heard a podcast. You've never heard a podcast pit the likes of Adrian's med and Maxwell Caulfield versus Johnny Travolta.
Karen says, fun fact, Olivia Newton's John was married to Brad from Grease 2.
Is that the one that disappeared on the ship?
I believe so. We're hitting all kinds of treats tonight.
Whoa, look at Savannah here. Jeff Conway.
Ooh, the Jeff Conway vote.
Ooh.
I
James. All right. I've always
Jeff.
loved James. I've always loved James, but now
he's thrown down the gauntlet.
he has.
Oh, these are fighting words, Jim.
Oh. I'll dip my toe in it.
And here's the comment. That's because no one likes Grease 2. That was the comment.
It was fighting words, James. Apparently, you're not going to score tonight. Or
He's not going to do it for his country.
you're not going to do it for your country, and you're never going to want a cool rider.
Well, at least you're not going to score with Todd tonight.
But he is going to go back to school again. God, it's disturbing that I know the lyrics to all those songs in order.
Hey, how many lyrics do you know to Grease?
Grease is the time, is the place, is the motion. Grease
Not
is
as many.
Word,
Well, and I really don't know the words to Grease Lightning because the ones we sang in 7th grade had been edited. It was a demon wagon.
Hang on a minute. Did you edit them or did the teachers edit them?
Oh, yes, our teacher edited it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I did. Now, Brady, were you like me and you had no idea what the real words were?
I didn't until years later.
Yeah.
Which is another famous play it by ear quote that I didn't realize the reference was feline in nature.
That's true. Jeff Conway was in Taxi as well. She said Jeff Conway was also in Babylon 5.
So here's why I think Grease 2 is better. Grease 1 took itself too seriously. Grease 2 knew that it was tongue-in-cheek. Campy. And I'm a fan of campy. That's
as long as you acknowledge you're campy.
Oh, yes. That's why I say if there never would have been a Grease 1, Grease 2 would have been a like huge hit. There would be musicals. There's not a musical. I want to do a musical of Grease 2. I've never heard anybody doing it. I want to do that.
They should.
You should.
So here, can I throw another theory of mine? That if there would have been a Grease 3, where Grease 1 was about the cars, Grease 2 is about the motorcycles, Grease 3 would have been about boats.
Oops.
But that's just me.
Well, we actually had this conversation. Remember I texted you guys about the whole idea of Grease being about hair product?
Yeah.
And I told you guys I had never thought of that. I always thought it was about like grease on a car.
No, that's hair products is what I never thought of anything else.
The greasers and the socias.
Right.
Yeah,
but you're thinking outsiders now.
Yeah.
Same
they
idea.
They weren't called the greasers in Grease.
No, but it was
they were.
Well, but you guys remember, I think I even had you guys join my side for a minute. The song Grease Lightning isn't talking about their hairstyles.
Well, that's
it's talking
true.
about the car.
Yes.
True.
It's fluid. No pun
A
intended.
double entendre, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what one here? The tea.
So how did we get to that from tea? Can anyone tell me? Because I can't remember.
I have no idea.
I know it started with Olivia Newton-John versus Michelle Pfeiffer. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
we
wasn't
got to
asked
that.
that question.
Me. It was me.
I thought somebody else asked that.
No, I didn't. Did we even take a formal vote on tea versus Starbucks? I don't think we did.
We didn't. I'm going tea anytime.
Yeah.
I mean, now my new favorite thing is an iced matcha latte at any coffee shop. I like the matcha. I like the green tea.
Matcha sorbet is good too.
There you go, Samantha. It's Brady's fault.
That's what it was. Brady.
Karen, you're exactly right. We didn't get diagnosed back in the day.
No, we didn't. I will say I don't like coffee, but even so, there is no more stressful situation to me than going to Big B, Starbucks, whatever coffee chain you want to name, and attempting to figure out what sort of non-coffee beverage I would like, because I don't understand any of it. I don't know what a latte is. I don't know what a mochata is or any of that stuff.
Chai tea latte is pretty good. It's just a cinnamony milk kind of
Milk. Latte means milk, right?
milk. Yeah.
Okay. That was a rumble. I saw that lightning through my
That
my
Brady's
blinds. Yeah, but in any rate, I didn't get to my point. Tea.
It's still daytime here.
Really?
It's what?
Yeah. It's not even dark here.
Oh dang,
It
man!
is.
The
Just wait about
trees,
10 minutes.
The trees outside of the window are doing the old.
Chris, I think Chris has a fantastic point here, by the way. I don't know, Eric, I don't know if you were done with yours or not, but he.
So Chris says, I feel like the people who wrote / produced Grease 2 saw Porky's and thought, let's just touch on that and have some success off both the Grease name and the Porky's mood.
I can see that, except it didn't have the gratuitous. It didn't have the gratuitous nudity.
Nudity, yeah.
So Brady, you made the comment about Grease 3 being about boats. I think you have Grease 3 and Speed 2 mixed up.
Yeah. I mean,
Lindsay loves matcha. Iced matcha. Lindsay, here's what I do. Iced matcha latte, I substitute with sugar-free syrup, almond milk, and honey.
See, I don't
How do
know.
you have the time to like get those almond teats and like?
My dog's outside.
I don't know what any of that means. You might as well be speaking Mandarin Chinese. I don't know what any of that is.
So here's all I know. Here's all I know.
You want to screw around?
Ice means cold, Eric. That you should be able to make sense of that. Ice means cold.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Matcha is a green tea. Like it's a tea over a coffee.
Okay.
Less caffeine. I'm not a caffeine fan. I don't know what latte means. Like you said, it means milk, right?
It means milk based.
But I substitute with almond milk because I like to pretend I'm being healthy. And I substitute the sugary, fatty, calorie-heavy syrup with sugar-free syrup. And I have them add a drizzle of honey. It's fantastic. A lot of people think it tastes grassy. But
now Lindsay says oat milk.
Oat
What?
milk.
What milk?
Eight.
Oat. Oprah's and bananas. I like to art.
See,
Apples and bananas.
Johnny Rotten sang the apples and banana song.
See, and even Starbucks with their pretentious sizes like Grande. And Grande is not even large. It's not the large, is it?
No. What I say is give me the biggin.
Venti. What is Venti? What is that?
I think the Venti.
Grande should be large. What is Venti? What is that?
I say I always tell them, I say, give me the biggest one you have.
You're based in Seattle. You have no business being pretentious. That's my take.
There you go. I agree. I'm not arguing with you.
Now here we're bashing coffee, and we have Gary on here. I'm sorry,
Right.
Gary.
Gary.
Nothing personal, Gary.
No, because Gary, do you have an iced matcha latte? If you do,
He has an angry one.
Brady looks blurry on my end. Is Brady blurry when you're in, Eric?
I'm getting a little grainy. I'm afraid that it's affecting the internet. All I'm seeing is flashing lights and moving trees.
You sound fine. You sound great.
Do I sound okay?
You're good.
You just
You're
look
good.
now you look clear.
But leave it to Spanker Vision.
Yeah.
To get all
Chris
messed
doesn't
up.
want to Grease 3. It will probably end up starring Taylor Swift and one or even worse, both of the Paul brothers. Ah.
All right. We still haven't had a vote, have we?
Yeah, well,
We have
We're going
3
a couple
T
more.
votes here. We have 3 T votes here. Anyone else like to vote? Or do you
I think
like
T's going to win.
Grease? I would think. I don't know, though. There's a lot of coffee people. So a lot of these people may be coffee people. I'm no coffee person, as I made very clear here, but there's a lot of coffee people.
I'm boring. I drink black decaf coffee.
It's
I'm
like
not
all the
old.
pain without the gain.
I'm not old enough to drink coffee, first of all. It's an adult drink.
You're not
Anybody else? Adult. No. Let me scroll back up here to see if we had any votes up top. Well, we did have a few up here, yeah. Jim said neither. Jim, you got to take a side. That's the rules. Savannah, the Browns say Starbucks times deuce. Tyler says Arnold Palmer, so let's see, that would be 4-2. Laura says Arizona green tea 4-3.
Arnold's Palmer.
Arnold's Palmer.
Not to be confused with
Jax Nicholas.
Shot Rodriguez.
Or Tiger's Wood.
Or John's Daily.
Or Bryson's Deschambeau.
Or Fred's Couples.
Oh.
Oh. Don't forget Shooters McGavin's. I'm plugging in my computer. I'm not leaving the screen. Hold on.
Who was the one guy, or who was the guy that wore the crazy pants?
Oh, that was
that Fred Couples?
No, that was died in a plane crash. You talking
He
about
did
the
die in a plane
Knickers?
crash.
Knickers? You talking about the Knickers? What was his name?
What was his name?
Not-
Fuzzy
not-
Fuzzy Zeller.
Fuzzy Zeller.
That's who it was, wasn't it?
Payne Stewart. Payne Stewart.
Haynes Stewart. Yeah.
Stewart.
God, you guys remember? You ever remember reading about that?
Yeah.
I've got podcast polio. I got up, my legs are numb.
Not to be confused with shit house.
Oh. Eric's broken.
All of our dads experienced shit house at one time. They all worked in factories.
I'd never heard that term until this show.
You what?
I never heard that term until this show.
Did you get a chance to ask your dad about Eric? I mean, just like I guarantee you they all heard of it.
No, I didn't.
I think it was their generation. I think it was their generation factory.
The historian says on a price standpoint, he'd take 8 Arizona teas over a single subpar Starbucks.
That's a weird number. Just 8 of them? Like
just 8? I think it's tea is worth more than 8 versus a Starbucks. But, let's see. I think that could be all the votes on the question at hand.
Gary's last comment.
I've got to scroll back down. Gary says, pro tip, no matter how old you are, order a black coffee at 2 in the afternoon at the McDonald's drive-thru, and they're likely to offer the senior discount.
No questions asked.
Now, that could be based on looking at you at my age.
You and Gary are the same age.
No, Gary's older than me, actually.
Really?
Sorry, Gary. Gary's a couple years older than us.
Brady's got his worry ward out.
Oh,
Yeah,
here we go.
That's where we're at.
Here we go.
It'll be okay, Brady. Grab your handles.
I believe T won.
Yeah,
Tea?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. The next one gets my dander up. First off, James, here's my problem. I have a problem with Arnold Palmer's and Shirley Temple's.
Okay.
Because
Do expound upon that.
Neither of them are alcoholic beverages. And when I was a kid, I thought they were all alcoholic beverages. I thought they were both alcoholic beverages.
Both are quite the opposite.
Right.
Yeah. So is Arnold Palmer a straight-laced guy, and Jack Nicholson
I wonder that.
was?
Yeah. What was Shirley Temple? Did she not drink alcohol?
I think it was just saying good ship lollipop, kind of like.
She was a kid, a child actor.
She was a kid. That's why she couldn't drink the alcohol.
All right. So next up, I have a strong opinion about both of these. Red Bull,
Red Bull,
Red Rum versus Monster Energy.
Now what?
Both of these will kill you.
They both will.
Why do they put these two against each other?
Well, I think because they know both of them will kill you.
Yeah.
Both of them will cause the palps, the heart palpitations.
And if you add another ingredient to it, I'll be
honest with you. I used to drink we used to start every show with Brady?
Some Red Bull and some soda water.
No. It was Red Bull and
soda water.
Jägermeister. No, it was Jägermeister. Soda water. What kind of rock and roll band were you in? It was Jägermeister and Red Bull. It was called a Jäger bomb.
Pure as the driven snow kind.
Okay, so everybody other than Brady used to start the show with a Jäger Monster and Red Bull, or a Jäger shot and Red Bull.
That's about accurate too.
It was called a Jäger bomb, and that was the only experience I've ever had with energy drinks. They'll kill you.
Yeah.
Don't drink them, people.
Yeah. The first time I tried a Red Bull, I was driving back from Florida by myself. So I was like, hey, I'll just, because it was new then. And I was up for a day and a half. Terrible. It's like, this is how Tony Montana feels while driving.
I think it's one of the, I'm going to be honest with you. I put the Red Bull category into the vape versus smokers category.
Mm-hmm.
Vape kind of came out as a safe.
Yeah.
A safe
alternative.
Smoking cessation therapy.
Right, for the smoking. I think Red Bull was kind of the same thing, but like you guys need to look up the evidence, some of the results of energy drinks. They're not good. So if you drink them, fine. Don't overdrink them. Just like if you smoke, fine. Just don't oversmoke.
I'm legit afraid to drink them.
No. Yeah.
I don't need heart palpitations.
We don't get serious very often on this podcast, but I don't let my kids. I've never let my kids drink them because you have like teenagers like keeling over from drinking too much energy drinks. They're not good. Here's a novel idea. Go to bed an hour earlier. That's what's hard to understand for especially young folk. But we don't want to preach any more than we have to.
Don't preach.
Yeah, this is a hard category for me. Red Bull, I used to drink in Jägermeister.
Yeah.
To start a show, because you gotta be. If you don't have palpitations before you start a rock and roll show, you're not a really rock.
Yeah,
you're not a rock and roller.
Yeah,
but you have natural palpitations, don't you? You don't need to
I do
supplement
actually.
it.
Yeah, I do. I was joking. Yeah, I don't need the energy. And I'll be honest with you guys. If you are a band member, if you play in a band and you need an energy shot to get energized to play the show, maybe just maybe you're in the wrong business.
Yeah.
Not time to get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so here's a stat. So multiple new energy drinks out with cotton candy flavors, etc., like Atlantis, got like 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine per can. Now my Diet Mountain Dew here, nothing about the caffeine.
Laura's a rock star. 3 and go to bed. That is amazing.
But generally, caffeine doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
I could drink multiple Mountain Dews at night and go to bed just fine. But I mean, I've never had one of these energy drinks, and like I said, I'm afraid to do so. But I don't know how it would affect me because caffeine in general doesn't affect me.
Karen, tears of a puppy. Yeah, this is why we like the Facebook Live aspect of our podcast. You guys provide the humor. What was that? Brady's popping open.
No,
he's popping open a red monster.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Oh, that's Eric. What you got?
I got 0 sugar, wild cherries, and creme Pessy.
Pessy Dew.
Let me see that can. It looked like it was
That's
camo.
good stuff, Eric. See, loves that stuff.
Pessy Dew.
There you go. That's good stuff.
Karen, that is correct. That is medication for my self-medication for my ADHD.
I have a hard time voting on this one. I'm going to be honest with you. I've never had a Monster Energy. Then they had to go and put energy stuff in like regular pop, like Mountain Dew energy and like beer and everything else. Here's the funny thing. So I'm going to get political. Can I get political for a second?
Sure.
So everybody always talks and argues and clashes and both sides of the political aisle argue about student loan, like paying off student debt. Yeah. And I've always said, and I think you guys agree, that the argument should be on why the hell is it so expensive to go to college in the first place?
Yes.
Like it should be handled at the entrance rather than the exit. I feel the same way about energy drinks. And again, this is no insult. I don't mean any offense to people who drink it. But scientifically, if you're needing that energy drink, there's got to be something at the beginning of that is it's simple cause and effect. Now, correct. I'm not saying that's easier said than done, or it's easier said than done. Like that's kind of my take on it.
I'll go along with that.
Yeah. If you're needing an energy drink, there's something else missing to make you need. But here it's brilliant strategy by the Monster and the Red Bull folks, because they know that they capitalize on. We all are out. We all need more energy. None of us get enough sleep. That kind of thing. So, anyway, yeah.
Jolt. I forgot about Jolt.
Historian said, thankfully that sound wasn't Brady's quote unquote chair again.
So Brady's the first one to say the F word and the first one to cut to step on a mouse.
A malice.
A malice. It was the chair.
And yes, Karen, it is part of the pitfalls associated with the Reedy Newman genetics.
I feel dirty. I feel like I just got as political as I've ever gotten right there, and I hope I didn't offend anyone. I get it. I get the need.
Yeah, we need to cleanse ourselves of that.
Right, we do. I apologize. I love everybody.
Yeah, Jolt. I did have some Jolt back in the day.
Yeah.
I was a teenager.
Have you guys ever heard that somebody sued Red Bull because the commercial said it gives you wings, and he said he didn't get wings, so it was false advertising?
I thought that was a Tampax commercial.
Tampax already has wings. So I guess ergo, if you're wearing a Tampax with wings, you have wings, right?
That's true. It's like I'm wearing a hat. I've got a bill. It doesn't make me a duck.
If it smells like a duck and it looks like a duck,
and it quacks,
it must be a duck.
So as far as this particular matchup, I can't speak to either because I've never had Red Bull wings and I've never had a Monster.
I can speak to it. I don't know why somebody bought it for me because I would have not, but it was an orange Monster in Red Bull. I actually think Monster, I don't drink them, but the ones I've had long ago, the Monster tasted better than the Red Bull. So, and I got nothing. That's it.
Okay, here's my take. My fourth take on this. Dark chocolate has some caffeine and tastes much better than these energy drinks. Eat yourself a square of dark chocolate. A slab.
Some cacao beans.
Cacao.
Yeah, well, and
Wow,
Lindsay brings another one into it. Remember Serge?
Serge.
Yes.
Savannah's comment.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on. Savannah, my dad worked with a guy who would drink 10 5-hour energy drinks in a 10-minute period. So did he have 50 hours worth of energy then? Is that the way that worked?
And I'm looking ahead at Chris Brady. I'm going to be honest with you. You should be scared how much the historian knows of you. I'm going to be honest.
He was in my class.
Well, yeah, but like this is as accurate as anyone's ever been about you.
Yes, back in the early 2000s, Brady used to push how great balls.
BAWLS.
Rhymes with
jowls. I like to say it, bowels.
Bowels in your jowls.
How great those drinks were. That may be the first somewhat energy drink I was ever introduced to.
I agree. The bowels were the first energy drink.
Yeah, it was good. It was like guarana berry and some
Jolt was before that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Jolt went back to our youth.
Brady and Doug were the Bowles brothers.
Yes, they were.
Doug introduced me to it, and then he would order a case of it somewhere.
Case of bowels.
Yeah.
So the person Savannah was talking about, I'm not laughing, but earlier Savannah said about the guy who would drink 10 5-hour energy drinks in a 10-minute period. Oh, by the way, he had a heart attack at 32 or 33 years old.
Well, there you go. There's your public service announcement right there.
Bowels. I forgot all about the bowels. Did the bowels have a flavor?
Yeah. It was like a vanilla. I know this is gonna sound strange, kind of like a vanilla Sprite.
Really?
Yeah.
They were in blue bottles, weren't they? Like blue, like a.
And it was made with guarana berry.
Guano.
So I put Bowls in the same category as Ice House beer and Red Dog beer. It was here for a minute and then gone.
Yeah.
Trendy.
I think you could get balls at Kroger.
Sheep balls.
Rocky Mountain oysters.
What was that on? Pee-wee's, is that Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
No, it was Funny Farm with Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
These are delicious. What are they?
Rocky Mountain oysters.
Not many people have a hankering for sheep, for Rocky Mountain oysters.
Jim brings up a good point here. Coke was the first energy drink back when it had cocaine in it.
Yeah.
Cocaine?
Cocaine. Toot.
Snort.
Colombian marching powder.
Hashish.
That's a different thing.
Flake.
Well, I didn't realize that marijuana and hashish were two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're as pure
You
as
tell
the
we're
driven
from
snow,
the
folks.
streets.
We're from the State Road, Party Road era.
Yeah.
I
You're the Bedford Stuyvesant. You've heard of Compton. You ain't seen nothing till State
Eric was
Road.
the inner city. Eric was the thug. He was the inner
He lived
city.
in the suburbs.
I was haunting Main Street.
Old haunts.
Mhm.
Right, I did talk.
We're out of control tonight, guys. I'm going to be honest. People, you should have expected this.
Yeah.
Mule fart.
Historian. They didn't sell it at the Mule Fart. We didn't buy it.
Just a simple concept. Just a switching of the.
I would like the record to show that my friend that works at Saturday Night Live, the hardest I ever saw her laugh is when I slipped and said mule fart. And she's actually told people about that.
How did anyone not call it the mule fart? That's what I don't understand.
We were talking
Was
about
there
the bondage and discipline the other day, too.
It was in 10 years. It's literally switching two letters.
I mean, you could do it all the time. You could go eat at Kerner Bang if you want to.
But that's perfect. That's why it's so perfect.
So simple yet so exquisite.
Oh my gosh.
Good line.
And a mule is such an obscure animal. I think that's why it's so.
Oh, we are off the rails.
In fact, all these drinks that we've talked about tonight, you could purchase at the Mule Fart.
I don't know. Could you purchase balls at the Mule Fart?
Oh, I don't know. Oh my God, we're sorry, folks. We've missed you.
Yes, we have. So back to the vote. I don't think I can vote. I think, and now I've admonished people for sitting on the fence.
Right.
But when you've not tried either, I don't think you can vote. That's my justification here.
So we got a couple of mule fart comments, but Lindsay, did anybody call it the mule fart before Brady called it the mule fart?
I think Brady originated that. He had to.
Well, Brady's headstone one of these days is going to say originator of the mule fart.
I'm going to have that little blue Ohio-shaped sign coming into Sardinia. This is the birthplace of Brady Liming, originator of the term mule fart.
You know, the people that worked at the mule fart should have capitalized on this. They should have had T-shirts made that said mule fart with a giant donkey's ass. An ass, if you will.
The ass of an ass. Historian says mule balls.
Is that a sad mule or a well-hung mule?
Oh.
Oh.
We are serious human beings here. That's
Oh my gosh.
So Savannah said Mule Fart was the first place I got Altoid sours. Now they're called retro sours, and you can only get them at Cracker Barrels or Amazon.
I got to be honest, Savannah. You know a lot of things.
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
your knowledge's base is wide.
Yeah, that's impressive. Altoid sours.
Wasn't the purpose of Altoids to freshen your breath? Would sours wouldn't do that, would it?
I think sour would just stink them up. Stank them up.
Stank
Be
'em up.
curiously sour.
I've never thought of sour as a good smell.
Sour. How you like them,
Think about-
sour?
Think about sour milk.
Mute. Ugh.
Yeah.
Sour's cream.
Yeah.
All right, I got to try to rein this in as the host
There's
of this
no
show.
hope.
Show us some discipline, Eric.
In some bondage.
No, thank you.
All right, the B&D. I thank you guys for that. You guys taught me that, and I told it to my parents. They looked at me like I was Satan's seed.
And they still let you hang out with us.
Yeah.
So a vote on this. What's the vote? I can't vote.
I'm gonna
I'll
go Red
maintain
Bull. You have to vote. I'm gonna go Red Bull.
I can't vote. I don't even know what they taste like.
I've only had one with Jägermeister,
Ugh.
and the other with nothing.
The thought of Jägermeister makes me want to throw up. Licorice. Bleh.
But here's the thing: I don't like licorice.
Which is why I don't like Jägermeister.
I think it's my.
Right.
I think mine doesn't matter.
Do you know what Jägermeister means in German? Master
Something.
of the hunt.
Master of what?
It was
Master of the hunt.
something.
Really?
Jaeger means hunt. So master of the hunt, which is why it has a stag logo.
Makes sense. Stag.
Brady, what'd you vote?
That orange monster, the monster.
So he voted monster.
So
And then-
our votes are split.
The
It's
Monster
like me
Mash.
voting between sour cream and ranch.
Both of them are going to baked potato. How do you eat baked potatoes, Brady?
With a fork. No, butter
Bullshit.
and salt.
Butter and salt?
I
No
prefer
cheese?
olive oil, margarine. No, I no. It stands alone. The baked potatoes taste is phenomenal. It does not need to be soiled by other things. Now, I have eaten loaded potatoes before, but like the chili cheese potatoes. But I typically just like some light butter and some sea salt. It's perfect.
I have no qualms.
So just to remind people, because I feel we need to do this, but we say Mule Fart, but the place is actually called the Fuel Mart. That's what makes it funny.
Hence the brilliance. The brilliance of the joke.
So the only vote I see here so far, now Laura, is that a vote? Monster, Mean Bean, Java? Is that a vote for Monster?
She's flicking the
I don't
bean.
see- You can't say that.
I repeating what she said. She likes the mean bean Java.
That's not what you said.
So here's the deal with so. Hang on a minute. That was the last one, right? Because
Was it
that was the Starbucks, right?
Starbucks and
Monster
But so
makes
re-
a mean bean Java.
Who does? Monster
Monster.
makes a green bean. Okay.
Yeah.
Green bean Java? Is that what you
Did I say
said?
green bean, mean bean Java?
I thought you said green bean Java.
I think I did.
Now, if they come up with a baked bean Java, I'm all in. So, okay, and I asked this question in complete transparency and out of curiosity. So she's mentioning a mean bean Java, right?
That's the name. That's the branding name of it.
So what is different about the mean bean Java versus the regular, like the Monster, the regular Monster?
Monster comes in different flavors. You could get it like orange flavored, cherry flavored, and there's a coffee flavored one too.
See, I think the problem with all this is it gets too complicated.
Yeah.
So Savannah says Monster has mean bean and loco matcha,
Yeah.
and they had a salted caramel as well.
Loco
I think
mocha.
they make it. I think they make it so complicated to answer or to order that baffles me. That keeps me from ordering it.
Well, just coffee in general.
Well,
Mean Bean Java. Here, I'll show you here. Here's the can. There you go.
Yeah, but what is your standard Monster?
right.
What is
so
what
that
Frankenstein.
tastes like
standard
coffee. That tastes like coffee right there,
Yeah.
like a sugared coffee, like a
Yeah. Like Starbucks on steroids.
Okay.
But that's not the standard one.
Well, but we did say it's open to any.
I'm just asking out of curiosity. What is the flavor of the standard one? Killer Brew.
Triple shot.
Triple shot. See, the goal of that is an early death. Like triple shot. Like, okay, so I didn't get enough sleep. I need a shot of caffeine. But in what reality do I need a triple shot of caffeine? Other than just kill me before I have to work my full shift.
Okay. The original Monster flavor is often described as a sweet, salty citrus blend. They said it kind of like a mix of green apple and tutti frutti bubblegum.
Oh, that's got you written over it, Brady.
Oh,
It was your
gosh,
your
I
favorite
hate green
breakfast.
apple. Here's the original can.
Okay, yeah, that looks familiar.
We got to be honest. The Monster can is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Laura says the green original tastes like toxic waste. Tastes like dirt, Rudy Cosby says.
So Gary says, no vote. I've tasted one sip of an energy drink. I'm not sure what kind. It was reminiscent of a bug juice from the mule fart.
Yeah.
He capitalized bug juice. Was that a brand?
Yeah.
Bug juice was a brand, yes. All right, so
That
I don't
first
even know how to
episode,
go
we
about.
talked about Chocola in that first episode of the podcast.
Oh, chocolate.
Yeah. We got into some Pete Rose and all our history.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. I'm only going Red Bull because that's all I've had.
Yeah.
Whose bright
So
idea was it to? Well, but whose bright idea was it to combine the energy drinks with alcohol?
Well,
that's a thing.
Four Loco.
Yeah, the Four Loco.
And then they banned it
So-
because it was killing people.
Right.
But I mean, alcohol is a depressant. Wouldn't that offset the what's in the
It
energy
double
drink?
whammied
Here's the
somehow.
deal. Right, but here's the deal. It was a fight, and your heart was the ring.
Yeah, it's like you were amped. Your heart was slowing down because of the depressant, but you felt energized. It didn't know you were overdosing on it. Basically,
Right.
is what happened. And
Fair.
That's correct. Right.
So Brady, did you say Monster or Red Bull?
I said Monster, but they're both nasty.
Yeah. So our vote is split essentially.
Right. Eric, you never even sniffed either.
No. I mean, if I were to pick solely on marketing, I would pick Red Bull.
Yeah, I mean they have a soccer team, for Pete's sake, and and a Formula One team, and a stunt team.
Yeah. Stunt. Like I said, the only
Give it
other
to Red
vote I
Bull.
really see is Laura with the mean Monster mean bean Java.
Are we
So
going
is
Red
that-
Bean?
Give
Or
it
Red
to
Bull?
Red Bean.
And rice.
Well, we have 2 votes for Monster and 1 vote for Red Bull.
Oh, well, Brady and I both said Red Bull. No, you're right.
No, you guys were split.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you going Monster?
Monster.
All right, Monster it is. I wrote Munster. That's how old I am.
That's Herman.
Good old Four Loko Blackout as a can. Yeah, I missed that boat, thankfully. Last matchup of this region. The number 2 seed, Gators Aid.
Or in any variation thereof, correct?
Yeah.
So like the 0, any variation of Gators Aid versus now it says 7-Eleven Slurpee. I will say any Slurpee.
All right, so the Slurpee has to be the frozen
slush.
drink.
Slurpee. What about ices?
Well,
That would
that's an icy and a Slurpee are the same, right?
Or slush canine.
See, but that's different though. It's a different consistency.
Yeah.
I say we either say the Slurshie or the Slurpee, the Fairbairn, the Slurpee, the Slurshie.
Or do you want to make it any frozen drink that comes out of one of those machines?
Right. Slurpee, Slurshies, Squishies, Squashies, Ices. What about Ices? Are those things?
Ices, yeah.
Slush puppies. The historian asked.
And any variation thereof.
So any variation of the frozen drink, Slurpees, Slushies, Slushies, Slush puppies versus Gatorade of any variety.
I love me an icy. I love an icy, but on a road trip, I want a Gator's Aid because if you don't drink the icy all at once, it becomes basically glucose in a cup. So
liquid syrup.
Yeah.
I have but one question about these variation of drinks. Why can't I get a sugar-free anything? That's the reason why I don't drink them. I used to love me a frozen Coke from Kmart's back when I was young.
Did you get the Swiss steak too?
Yeah.
Or the liver and
Swiss
onions?
steak. I love Swiss steak.
I don't even remember what Swiss steak is. I think it was just a rat steak with tomato juice boiled into it.
It does have tomato juice on it.
Rat steak.
Rat steak. That makes me want to ask the historian which episode was the rat barker introduced into?
The Sardinia
classic.
episode.
Sardinia Founders Day.
16, episode 16.
Rat barker. That's highbrow comedy right there, folks. I'm going to be honest with you. There was nobody that ever referred to that person as a rat barker until Brady.
Now, okay. The historian just put a comment up here. Did Wilford's Brimley have a deal with Gator's Aid?
No, but he had to beat us, so he had to drink the zero.
I think he's saying he had to drink the zero.
That beat us.
Wilford is Brimley.
Makes me short with my wife. It makes it hurt when I pee.
I think we saw Wilford's Brimley on Golden Pond.
No.
Cocoon.
Didn't we?
Cocoon.
Oh, Cocoon.
Henry's Fonda was in Golden Pond.
Right. And was it Jane's Fonda as well?
And Jane's Fonda, yes.
Yeah. We saw Wilford's Brimley and Cocoon.
Who was it? Catherine's Hepburn was also in it, right?
And Cocoon also. Fred or no.
Catherine Hepburn.
Catherine's Hepburn. What was the guy in Cocoon that was from Police Academy?
Steve Gutenberg.
Steve Gutenberg. I think we saw Steve's Gutenberg, didn't we?
I believe, yeah.
Where'd he ever go?
I don't know. After Police Academy 7, I don't know where he went.
Citizen on
He
Patrol.
goes where all the Gutenbergs go.
Yama, 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 yama. Yama, 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 yama. Yama.
I couldn't get beyond Police Academy Deuce. Couldn't do it.
Well, at least Police Academy Deuce had the didn't have the blue
How about that Bobcat Goldthwait?
go. That was Citizens on Patrol.
No, he originally was in Police Academy Deuce.
Oh, which was the one where he was in? Where he was that Police Academy 3? The Citizens on Patrol. It's
Probably.
tough to be a truck driving cowgirl. Which was the one where it had a high tack in it? Tackleberry.
Tackleberry. He's in all of them, I
Tackleberry.
think.
Yeah.
He was the only one that was in all of them.
Oh, are you sure?
He was the Ernest of Police Academy.
He died at a young age.
Yeah.
Right, Karen. That's what's that blows my mind that Wilford's Brimley was like we've shared the meme, guys, with like Wilford's Brimley was like 45 when he whatever he was in.
Yeah.
Only 50 in Cocoon.
And Archie Bunker was like what, 42 or something?
Yeah. Red
Hang on.
Foxes.
Chris.
Red Fox.
Red, Red Skeleton.
Boxcar Willie.
I always thought when I was young it was red skeleton.
Yeah.
Red skeleton.
It's Skeleton, isn't it?
It is skeleton. Yes.
Yeah.
Red Skeleton was a supervillain in Captain America. And that's Red Skull.
David Spade was in Citizens on Patrol?
Did not know that.
I didn't either.
As opposed to David Neutered.
All right, Bob Barker.
So are you two saying Slurpee?
I'm saying Gator's Aid.
Gator's Aid.
I'm saying Gator's Aid.
Okay, I also say Gator's Aid. So let's see. Go back up here. 3 for Gator's Aid. Lindsay says Slurpee all day, so that's 3-1. Laura says slushies 3-2. The Browns say slushies ×2, 4-3. Sam says slushy 5-3. Historian says Gator's Aid 5-4. Any other votes? Oh, there's another Slurpee vote.
Slurpee.
Jim says Gatorade, so 6-5 for Slurpees.
Really?
Yes. Oh, Gary says Gatorade. 6-6.
Oh, sheesh.
Oh.
Celia, what do you guys say? Gatorade or Slurpee? What's Riley say? 2 votes for Gatorade.
All right, there you go. Gator's Aid.
All right. That
good?
ends
Gets us through one side.
half of the bracket, yes.
We'll resume next week.
These brackets,
This bracket may take all the summer.
they open up a lot, but they tend to do this. That's why they're good topics, because people are passionate about them.
Oh, yeah.
So get you a bag of beaver nuts and your favorite road trip drink and
Beaver nuts.
All right. Well, I think that probably rounds things out, doesn't it? Since we're now 2 hours and 40 minutes in.
yeah, might not be a bad idea. I gotta make.
Does anybody have anything else to say? Does anybody have any
pithy comments?
Fungent comments for the good of the order. I didn't
Oh,
talk about our platforms here. You can like and follow us on Facebook, Twitters, or X, whatever you'd like to call it, Instagrams. You can listen and watch on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitch, Rumbles, and iHeartRadio and the iHeartRadio app. Find us in all those places whenever I decide to post things. Savannah, I can say everyone knew where I lived when I said I lived beside the mule fart. There you go. Right, Savannah. So when did you first hear that term? I mean, you're younger than us. Is it was it in lore by then? Had Brady put it into the Sardinia vernacular at that point?
Brady whispered it into the ear of all Brown Countyans. He said, henceforth you will call the fuel mart the mule fart.
arise, Lord Mulefart.
Now
Star
the
Wars
que-
reference there.
Now the question is, did Gordon Daly know that we called it the mule fart?
Well, don't tell him. He's too nice.
I like to think that's why he named it that.
Was he the one that named it that, or was it named that before? Was he the first one to have it?
It was the Seneca for years. It was the
Yeah, it was. Well, Artie Simmons had it.
She says 93, Brady. What did you?
That's.
I'll
tell
tell
you, that's about the genesis of the word.
Right.
A little bit earlier than that, but not much.
Yeah. Brady's the man. Guys, here's the deal. There's not another brain in Brown County that could have come up with switching the first letter.
That's a fact. Savannah says Gordon knew the people called it that.
I mean, people tried. It was like the Bulbart, the Fuel Miart, the Pop Tart. They tried all kinds of things, and then Brady came along.
Just didn't have the same ring to it.
The cat scat, it didn't matter. Brady came up with. He's like, "Hey guys, you're overthinking it. Switch the F and the M."
So
there's this donkey-esque creature. There's a burro out there known as a mule.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I might have just got tongue-tied and said it, and it was funny, so it stuck.
I don't think so.
Oh, that could not have been accidental.
I don't remember that serendipitous moment where the clouds parted, the sun came out, and said, "Mule fart."
And the angels sang. And the rays of sun shone upon Brady's visage as he said, "Mule fart."
I think he wanted to call it a mule fart, but someone said, "Hey, it's a gas station. You can call it Fuel Mart." Very clever variation.
Yes, it happened backwards.
They had to remind him what he was selling.
Well, I mean, it's technically gas either way. Oh.
Oh. My sides hurt from laughing.
Exactly, Chris. I'm surprised he didn't call the effing mule fart.
Now, Savannah says now there were a few people that asked if we lived on the cemetery side or the life squad side.
Right, exactly.
Of the mule fart.
Hey, I used to live. I'm gonna be honest. I used to live a hop, skip, and a jump away from the Fuel Mart.
The what?
What?
So Savannah
said Fuel Mart.
Mule fart. Sorry.
Correct yourself, sir.
So Savannah, did they ask you if you lived on the left mule cheek or the right mule cheek?
I'm a cheek, you're a cheek.
I'm a pepper, you're a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
James is telling us it's time to go.
I think
We could say
get out of here
our
already.
moment is past.
Hey, Savannah, I'm going to be honest with you. We saw some creepy stuff at the cemetery there. One night, real quick before we leave, my sister and her husband at the time, they saw like a creepy person is hanging out at the cemetery. It was like 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and they saw something there that kind of chased them. And then one time, I had a bull get loose in the cemetery and kind of chase me. So a bull. So there's some goings on at the Sardinia cemetery there.
So I thought of Mousy Liming there. Bull.
Oh my goodness.
So this historian asked, they asked if she lived upwind or downwind.
All right, folks. Hey, we have a serious question.
Do we?
Should we do another live episode? If we did, for all those who are still tuned in, if we did a live episode, would you come out? I know Savannah would. She's already said she would.
Yeah.
And John.
Gary's been offering his facility for quite a while.
And I think it's time we take him up on it. And the historian and Samantha and James. We need to get James out. The James gang.
James gang. Flowers and Heron.
Oh, Savannah. She's still welcome, Savannah.
Yes.
Samantha says for sure.
Yeah.
Bo show.
Shut it. Historian says he has some friends that would come too. They've actually asked about it.
Oh, we need to do it then. We only live twice.
Twice.
That was a James Bond movie. You only live twice. Seriously.
I would come with you. Karen, we will remind you exactly 37 times.
Yeah, not 36, not 38.
Right.
36.
Heed. Dog.
Yes. No. Yeah, we can start discussing that.
It'll probably be July. Ooh.
Now, Savannah said it would make a good episode 200, which that would be quite a while for 189.
Oh,
so,
yeah. That would
if we
probably
did
put
an
us
episode a week. That'd be 11 weeks.
As long as you have black icing on the cake, James, you're wanting a surprise the next day. Black icing on a play it by ear cake. Wasn't that a song?
I think so.
Sure. All right, we will discuss that amongst ourselves. We will report back. Anything else, gentlemen? Schmentlemen?
Gentlemen.
All right. With that, not sure about. I'm having cataract surgery on Tuesday of next week. Now, as far as I know, I can't drive for 24 hours. I mean, theoretically, maybe I could do a podcast on Wednesday evening. I'm not sure, but I guess we'll have to talk about availabilities and all that.
When are you having it?
Tuesday. Yeah. So I have to change my name. I can no longer be Captain Cataract. Although I was told I had
promoted to Major Cataract.
Major. No, I was actually told I have cataracts in both eyes, and the doctor says to me, "Well, I'm surprised you don't notice the one in your right eye." I'm like, "Well, it's probably because my left eye is so crappy that my right eye looks really good. So maybe I'll notice that after you get rid of the other one." So right. I'm 53 and I feel like I'm 83. Anywho,
blame it on the rain.
Blame it on the rain.
Yeah.
So yeah, these baseball kids are funny. They play songs like that on their speaker.
Really?
Yeah, they have really good taste in music, according to me. But
we used to play on the bus, the games, the old Run DMC. You talk too much. Remember that?
Oh yeah, I just put that on my playlist.
Shut up.
Yeah, I just created my hip hop playlist on Spotify, and I even named it after my rap name from high school. It's the D-Bray Flight rap list. I exposed my daughter to the rapping Duke.
So,
Karen, may your dishes be washed and your dishwater be clear.
Now, if you're doing dishes, you got to wash dishes if you're doing it by hand.
And may there be no chunks of brebs or any other fluids floating in your dishwater to stick to your knuckles.
Now, Randlin probably doesn't get the context of the rapping Duke, does she?
She just like.
I mean, it's still funny.
Who's he thinking he's so patriotic? Daha. Sounds pretty idiotic. Don't you think that sounds stupid?
Thankfully, you didn't name it.
Diapers wet in the sheets. I was at the Ponderosa
rapping to the beat. Daha.
All right.
You guys are drunk.
Drunk. All drunk and liquored up. All right. So we'll get with you all about schedule for next week. But like I said, probably Tuesday is a no-go for me. But we can talk about other days. But we'll let you know. There's nothing else good for the order. Todd, take us out.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter at Play It By Ear Pod 2, and our website at anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.